Hey everybody, I'm Joe. Thanks very much for joining me this evening. It's Monday, which means it's time for Monday Night Soulherder. I don't think my list has changed from last week. It's possible I made one or two tiny changes to the sideboard, but the deck should pretty much be what you guys saw last week. Over to the side, you should have Cardboard Live showing the deck. I can't remember if it still shows Fiend Hunter or Skyclave. But if it shows Fiend Hunter, just know that that's actually Skyclave Apparition. This new card from Zendikar Rising. It's been pretty good in the deck so far. Very powerful. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna try to get things started sort of quickly this evening. Since it's the same deck, I don't think you guys really need the breakdown. So again, thanks for joining me, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just jump into the first round of the league. All right, found somebody right away. It's always nice. Don't have to sit around twiddling our thumbs for 2 minutes while Magic pairs us. All right, we won the die roll, and opponent. Actually, we did not win the die roll. Just when we got here, it sort of showed us the hand right away, and it was up to us. Opponent mulliganed immediately. It looks like it might be a Tron player. Hey, let's see. Level 1 Weedle. Well, I'm happy to hear that you love my stuff, and thanks very much for joining me. I'm on the draw here. This is the first round for the evening, and it's kind of a poor opening hand, but it does have Ether Vial, which is very powerful. Opponent can, of course, like Thoughtseize it away. If it is a Tron opponent, then this opening hand is not that amazing. We can play Ether Vial turn 1, call turn 2. We've got lands and spells and Ether Vial. I think I'm going to keep it and see if it ends up being terrible. We're on the draw. We're going to have extra time to hopefully draw into some creatures. Opponent's going down to 5. So hopefully not at too much of a crazy disadvantage. Of course, the problem with keeping hands like this is if we just draw 2 or 3 lands in a row, then we're just sort of immediately out of the game. So if we just get Thoughtseized here, actually it's not a big deal, I guess. I mean, Steam Vents. I guess we'll see what the opponent's working with. After they see what we're working with, Mishra's Bauble. If we get our Ether Vial Spell Pierce here, that would be kind of dirty. So the opponent does know what our top deck is. Typically, I like to separate in my hand whatever the opponent knows about. Of course, the game does tell you what's been revealed, but it's kind of picky and choosy about like what it actually shows in this column. Like the opponent obviously knows about my top deck, but Magic doesn't actually track that. So they know about the path, which is fine. So I'm just going to go green, blue, then maybe green, white with Canopy Vista. We'll sort of see how it goes. So Spell Pierce here would be kind of yucky, but I sort of doubt it's going to happen. That card doesn't really see play. Thought Scour is much more likely, so they hit a Snapcaster, which is good for us. That's one of their high-value cards. Almost certainly a Death Shadow deck. Probably looking for black mana on their mulligan to 5. Checking out my top deck again. They can run, of course, probably do run Stubborn Denial. So it's possible they can counter my Eladamri's Call here. Not exactly sure why this is hesitating here. Yep. All right, that's lovely, because I wanted to play the island here anyway. And next turn I can crack this for Canopy Vista and just take less damage. Okay, opponent digging a little bit deeper. Found the black land. Good for them. Very nice. They can now Thoughtseize me, which is, I guess, also good for them. But I'm going to take this opportunity to get the Coatl down. And, I might actually get another basic here just to make sure that I have Death Touch. Gurmag Angler, and they're holding up blue for Stubborn Denial. So I could call and sort of force them to use their spell now. That seems fine. I can just violin Coatl next turn. So I'm going to go for Eladamri's Call. But I will have to get like a hallowed fountain here to do that. Little tricky, but you know what? If I keep up, if I I'd really like to get rid of this thing because it if we deal with their threats, they can't really beat us at all. So Ice Fang is sort of a removal spell. We don't have a way to protect it right now, no blink or anything. But it does get value through Ether Vial. I should say it does allow us to get some value out of Ether Vial next turn. So I'm going to let that resolve. And then I am going to cast Eladamri's. They know I have the path, so they might just feel priced into letting this resolve. Opponent considering? All right, cool. So we kind of saw that coming, but now we get to deal with their Gurmag Angler. All right, so at this point, we've got our blue. We're getting, let's see, just play this, get another forest, get Ice Fang Coatl closer to, maybe I just get white, just path this thing now. If I draw another Ice Fang, I can cast it off of my lands. So again, welcome to the stream, guys. I'm Joe, playing some Soulherder this evening, killing some Gurmag Anglers. Opponent cracking the Scalding Tarn, probably going to get a shock untapped, play a Death Shadow. Potentially trying to lure the path on the Angler instead of on Death Shadow. I think they're just playing out the threats that they can play. Maybe it's just another Angler. Well, there it is. They didn't leave up blue this time, so pretty transparent when they choose to leave up blue. All right, Death Shadow. Well, we can get Stonehorn down next turn. If we draw into an Eternal Witness, we can get back Eladamri's Call, get a Soulherder, and just start getting a loop going. Okay, another Coatl would be excellent here. Maybe a Path. Eternal Witness, even better. Best of the bunch. No need to run out the Eternal Witness just yet. They do have Cling up, but at this point, letting them draw extra cards is going to be... well, anyhow, they're on one card. I'm not putting them on Cling, but letting them draw a card just doubles the chances that they could have Cling. So probably better for me to go for the graveyard now, or not. I don't even know. It's hard to say. But I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Yeah, there's a few cards that are really expensive online. I think Force is super pricey. Just gonna get another island here. I think I'll try to sandbag the Witness a little bit. Not sure what it gets me though, because if the opponent knows that I have like a call in hand, it makes them more likely to leave a blue mana. But really, they're probably just top decking here. So I don't know. I feel like just keeping the information hidden at this point is probably okay. Okay, so now oh, okay. So they can't attack, which is good for us, obviously. Possible they still just have a land in hand. It seems like they're F6'd. Nope, not F6. They're thinking. So let's see what they've got here. Is the last card in hand a Cling? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Doesn't look like it is, but could be a Stubborn Denial, of course. So another Path off the top would be awesome. Teferi is a sick one. Okay, so now I'm going to lead with Teferi. see what they have, and then I'll play a forest. I'll play Call, get Soulherder, Violet in, and Teferi is actually among our best draws there, I think. Oh, so there's that Stubborn Denial. Totally fine for us for now. We'll get our, actually we get our Canopy Vista now, I think. Okay. We will get Soulherder. Opponent empty-handed. Violin the Soulherder right away. And attack. And pass the turn. We're going to blink Stonehorn at the end. Okay, so just a few more turns like that. Tricky for the opponent here. If they draw something like Fatal Push, they have no way to trigger Revolt. Possible they rip like a Terminate. Street Wraith. Why not? Let's see what you draw. Ice Fang is a good one. I might actually main phase that. At a certain point, you can stop blinking Stonehorn once you've established enough of a board. For example, I could blink Eternal Witness and get back Eladamri's Call or Teferi. But no need to be sort of hasty with our decision making. Okay, we're going to target Stonehorn again. At a certain point, we're going to go wide enough, keeping the Temple Garden in hand to potentially bait, you know, like something like an Inquisition or a Thoughtseize. Opponent did mulligan to 5 in this game, but I kept a hand with 4 lands in Aether Vial and 2 creatures. So actually, no, Eladamri's Call and Stonehorn. So opponent conceded. So very nice game 1. Very, very typical sort of Soulherder win with the Stonehorn combo. Pretty nice. We will actually, I should say, Eladamri's Call did an excellent job there. Opponent knew I had Eladamri's Call, but they just could not let Teferi resolve. So just sort of a testament to the power of some of these non-creature spells that we run. No, they could draw like fetch land into push and then get rid of Soulherder. That would do it. That would stop the lock from continuing. They could also just get rid of Stonehorn. Either way, Soulherder or Stonehorn. Probably Soulherder is the better thing to get rid of. I think they play Terminate, which just kills either creature on the spot. If Soulherder is small enough, Kolaghan's Command could have killed it. So we do have a bunch of nice stuff to bring in this matchup. That one, these two, there we go. Excuse me. Auriok Champion is like pro-black, right? So I think that's probably worth bringing in. Actually, all of these white spells are worth bringing in. Veil of Summer is amazing. Path is pretty excellent. And then we'll sideboard some stuff out. I don't like the forces. It doesn't really fight on the card advantage axis that's so important in this matchup. Uro is very good. The Teferis are very good. I think basically anything that interacts with their creatures is pretty good. Thassa is a little bit dirtily, so I think I could probably trim Thassa, although it's value. So I might want to keep that actually. I've got to trim 6 more cards. So this column I love. I'm not taking anything out of that column. We could certainly trim 2 Watchers for starters. There's not really like super duper clutch creatures that I need in the matchup. I mean, Auriok Champion could be pretty good, but it's not like I'm searching for Meddling Mage against like Neoform, so I can probably trim 2 Eladamri's Calls. I guess getting rid of Thassa is fine, and Venser is sort of okay. I could trim a land, but I don't love it. I'll just trim another Eladamri's Call, because whatever. The toolbox aspect of the deck is not so clutch here. I mean, I don't know if I'm making the right decisions, but I see the time is running low. I can reconsider if we have to go to game 3. So we were able to keep 4 lands in Ether Vial, but I can't keep 5 lands in Ether Vial. So we will take our mulligan. This is significantly better. And I'm just going to bottom the Ephemerate because I like the removal and I like Eternal Witness, so we will keep. Bottom the Ephemerate, say done. Once again, welcome to the stream, everybody. People tend to slowly trickle in over the first round. This could easily see like a stubborn denial. That would be sort of okay, particularly since we drew the second one. Just F6ing here. Try to catch up on time a little bit. It's not a matchup that goes to time, but whatever. Okay, so no stubborn denial. We get our Ether Vial on the ground. Of course, they can deal with that with Kolaghan's Command. Opponent, let's see. I guess they get their Angler on the battlefield already, but if they don't have a second land, then it seems they do not. Of course, giving them a second land is unfortunate, but so they just went like double Thought Scour, so it's total and didn't hit a land, so it's totally possible that they hit a Stubborn Denial, in which case they can counter my Path to Exile. So I think what I'm going to do here is just play, I guess I can play Temple Garden untapped, play the Path on the Angler, play another Ether Vial, and just pass the turn. They have no resources in the graveyard right now. I don't want to let them untap and then let them counter Path during their upkeep, so that's the play. Faust, I get the idea about why she can be pretty powerful in the matchup. It's a super grindy matchup, but say we get stuck on 3 lands for a long time, it can also be a very front-loaded matchup where they're attacking with gigantic creatures early in the game, and if we get a Thassa stuck in our hand, it can just feel pretty bad. Hey Betamax, welcome to the stream. Okay, opponent took the Eternal Witness, which is unfortunate. Another Eternal Witness can get back that Eternal Witness, but we'll see what the opponent's working with. They can like Snapcaster Thoughtseize next turn, something like that. So creatures here would be great, obviously. Watcher, pretty sick. I might as well just put that guy down with Ether Vial right now. Could just get a Plains and cast it that way, but this way I get to get like a fetch. I'm sorry, a shock and not hurt myself here. I'm gonna kill him with the Hideaway on the stack. That's fine. I guess I could have waited till the opponent's turn. That was a slight misstep, I guess. Yeah. I mean, since I don't have Ephemerate in hand right now, there's no reason to vial him in now. I could make the opponent use their mana. Oh, well, none of this matters, right? So, I guess it's a card that I exile and it will stay exiled. So probably like the Misty Rainforest is the one to choose. Okay, fair enough. I'll play my land and I'll pass the turn back. So the opponent knows my hand at this point. Way too excited about that Fatal Push. Way too excited. All right, so opponent, no threats for the time being, which is perfect for us because we're also trying to top deck well here. So we're going to have Ether Vials on 3 and 2. Let's see if I use them slightly better than I did a moment ago. I mean, no reason to run the Plains out right now. Just pass the turn. All right, opponent, I don't know, they got a lot of cards in their hand. Maybe it's 4 Stubborn Denials or something. Okay. Thoughtseize. Down to 6. Creatures would be good. And that is a good one. That is a good one. So now I think I go like Witness, get back Watcher, and we should be pretty good. I could also just get back Path. They can just hard cast Stubborn. No, not Stubborn. The other one, Mystical Dispute. So it's possible that I should. Well, whatever. Witness, getting back Witness seems pretty good to me. Let me try to cast. If I cast this one and gets countered, that's terrible. Hey, Lonely Isotope. Thanks very much for the subscription. I really appreciate it. Now, it's likely the opponent just has counterspells in hand, so I hate the idea of casting an Eternal Witness just to get it countered. So maybe I'll just Violin Eternal Witness on their end step or something, maybe in response to like another Thoughtseize or something, and then get a Watcher still in response and vial that in. Let's see what the opponent's working with. Obviously, I was sitting there thinking for a while, so. Also, maybe we can make them burn a like a Cling to Dust just to like as a redraw. Opponent looking at my top deck. Passing the turn. So they could totally have a Cling here, in which case, going for the Watcher. Like if they exile the Watcher, it's not the end of the world. Let's see if they've got it. They have Dismember for the Witness, so impossible to tell like every card they could possibly have. Unfortunate for us to not have drawn any Ephemerates yet, because Ephemerate would have been a nice blowout there. Watch for tomorrow. Okay, sweet. Honestly, with the opponent at such a low life total, I mean, I feel like, well, we don't have Death Touch yet. Ice Fang is just going to draw me more cards. Definitely, I mean, obvious choice, like taking the Soulherder here, I guess, but yeah, but if they just have another removal spell for one of my other creatures, Soulherder doesn't do as much. I feel like I just need to catch up in cards. So I'm going to take the Ice Fang. It's sort of guaranteed continued card draw. Opponent back up to 4. Okay. Cannot cast that, unfortunately. Would be a good one to try to get down, or at least to bait a removal, a counterspell. Opponent knows about this plane, so I might as well play it out. This is black or blue. I've only got one blue, just double checking. I'll pass the turn. All right, opponent not cracking fetches anymore. You love to see it out of the shadow deck. So at this point, like, even a land is fine. Opponent might think, like, land, yay, but okay, we've got a 2-turn clock just sitting here. And not too great for them to spend removal. Oh, my goodness. All right, well, that's viable. So we're just going to sit on Deputy until they play something. If they kill this thing now, which they're doing, I'm just going to vial in the Ice Fang right now to see if I draw something that I can actually cast this turn. Opponent getting a tapped Blood Crypt. All right, so let's see what we draw here. Even land, I would just try to jam Ashiok here. Well, that's fine too. Just get that down on the battlefield. That is lethal at this point. Celestial Purge seems quite nice. Any order, and we have another creature in hand as well. So pretty poor spot for the opponent, but they do have 5 cards in hand. Anger of the Gods. Well, that will get me Celestial Purge, and I can just put Deputy onto the battlefield. So that's a Yargle Anger of the Gods as well. It looks like they're holding up. Now, if I play this, they didn't just crack a land, right? So they have no revolt. I'll just put Deputy down. We just want a clock. Like, I just want to take them from 3 to 2. This is still pretty live with Ephemerates. I'm happy that you're happy, Paintball Demon. Like, it's just I don't know, this silly character. Let's get in with Deputy. I don't know anything about Yargle. We drew a land, but we didn't draw a land that lets us play Ashiok, which is unfortunate. All right, 2-turn clock. We've got the removal. It's an Ashiok on the opponent's side. Okay, that's fine. It's not going to oh, you know what? Hang on a sec. I could purge that, but I'm really not that afraid of it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we should be good to go here, unless they have like another anger from my Deputy. Thoughtseize off the table. They've got a can't cast it. They can cast Dismember. I can just burn the Veil right now, but again, I don't care about the mill, so go for it, opponent. All right, well, I get to attack and see if they've got like a Terminate or something, but we've got the Veil. They could have Terminate. Well, I can also pay for their Stubborn Denial, so we should be okay here, I think. Teferi. Good old Teferi. I could have led with Teferi, I guess, just to make sure that they could have a Snapcaster here. But Snapcaster doesn't kill Deputy, and I can just Veil whatever they cast, so... Okay, Snapcaster's fine. Using up all their mana, I can play Teferi. All right, so they've got Push, but they don't have Revolt, right? That seems strange, right? Yeah. All right, you gonna block? I guess they have to block. That's pretty bad. But now they can cast the Push after, and I can Veil it then. So probably correct. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter too much when I cast the... All right, so I'm going to go for Fatal Push now, and I'm just going to protect my clock. Yeah. Draw a card. Feels good. Maybe a creature. I do have a few creatures in the deck. No creatures, so... Fine just taking Teferi down here just to get... I mean, I might as well bounce this thing back to hand, right? If they play a creature, I can just nab it. So, yeah. All right. Awesome. Pass the turn. What do you got, opponent? You need some pretty good stuff here. Okay, once again, milling me. Okay, once I get to my end step, they can't do anything anymore. So they know I have the Deputy in hand. Not exactly sure what their plan is here. I hope that I don't think that their 12/12 is a threat. Is that an oops? You forgot about Teferi? All right, cool. We got there. So round 1, pretty straightforward against Grixis Death Shadow. They did mulligan to 5 in game 1. Nice start to the league. Let's draw some cards. Okay, well, I don't know, like a lot of air in there, right? Vial, Skyclave is awesome, but then a bunch of lands, so happy the game kind of ended where it did. Though we could have fought for a long while just based on what we had in hand. Interesting that we never drew a second blue source across 11 turns. All right. Yeah, it was quite a large shadow, about as big as they can get, right? All right, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in a second. So how is everybody doing this evening? Let's take this short break here to check in with everybody. Have you guys been playing Soulherder lately? And if so, are you playing Ether Vial? Are you still playing without Ether Vial? I think my plan is to play Ether Vial maybe like through October and sort of see how I feel with it. It feels pretty good, and you guys, I don't want to rush too fast through the end of that game. Like we saw some beautiful synergies there between some of our ETB creatures and Teferi. You know, I see that Panda is highlighting that. Like Teferi can bounce our creatures, and then Ether Vial, if it's just sitting there in particular, not doing anything. Yeah, pretty strong synergy there. So Weedle, the 80 card list with Urian as a companion, some of them run Ether Vials, and all of them run Monodorks because you just have like larger chunks of the curve. So when you run 80 cards, you need more 1-drops. So you can't really comfortably get away with just running Ether Vial. So almost all of those lists run some number of dorks. If they don't run Ether Vial, they tend to have like 6 to 8 Monodorks, I think. Isotope, you can slowly build up the pieces of Soulherder. Actually, you can buy most of the deck. Like I think I have still some budget list on in the pins of the Soulherder Discord. You can buy most of the deck pretty cheap. It's really just the forces that are gonna. Well, the forces, and I guess if you play Ether Vial, there's a few cards that get the price up there. Like Uro is still expensive, but it might go down now that it was banned in Standard. So. So yeah, anyhow, I mean, the deck is pricey, but only because of those few cards. Like I guess Ice Fang is not the cheapest card in the world at this point, because well, maybe it's gone down because I feel like the decks that used to run it a lot aren't anymore. Like what was the pivot that happened recently in control decks? Like Astrolabe. Since Astrolabe got banned, all the control decks are like, whatever. Like, I'm just gonna play all different lands and play Field of the Dead. Like, I don't need a stupid flying snake, right? Much better to have 20,000 zombies. So after Astrolabe got banned, all the control decks just pivoted hard away from Coatl. So I think the price of Coatl must have gone down significantly from where it was. But Weedle, if you're asking about my deck in particular with regards to Hierarch, I think the list should be like over here with Cardboard Live. You should see like a little icon. If you click on it, it should open up and show you the deck list. I mean, Uro, whatever. Like, if it gets banned, it gets banned. But for me, it's just like, it's another out of like many, many, many dirtily value creatures in the game. So I just think Uro is broken with these broken lands. I think Uro is broken with Field of the Dead, and I think it's particularly busted with Mystic Sanctuary, since it sort of single-handedly enables the cryptic loop. Yeah, Veil of Summer. This is a pretty nice hand, so I'm going to keep. We'll see what the opponent's doing. If they play, well, all right. I think we kind of like to see that. If they're going to Thoughtseize us, well, Steam Vents. Is this Grixis Shadow again? Witching Well, what is going on? what is going on? It's some kind of like Jeskai control deck or something, I guess. Or maybe Grixis, since they ran black there. But they could just run blue fetches. Okay, didn't really want to draw land there. I think I can get away with playing a tapped Hallowed Fountain this turn. They put top bottom with their 2 scries. One to the top, one to the bottom. Urza, eh? I guess with the artifacts? Good call. All right, well, Engineer, I guess that's pretty path-worthy, right? And pathing on their upkeep doesn't really work. because they can respond and get the sword back. So let the turn sort of pass, and if I path now, it'll put them at 4 mana. Wow, just pretty clunky sort of top end kind of hand here. But if I play path here, I can play Skyclave next turn, start blowing things up. I could even hit Urza. I said Urza like I'm saying Uro. Anyhow, so I guess I'll play one of these fetches and probably just go get like a Temple Guard in. But for now, I think it's probably in my best interest just to path this Engineer on my main phase. Seems fine. And, we've got the lands to get to our top end, so not the worst situation, but always a little sketchy playing against combo decks when you don't have... they're looking at my top deck, but I'm going to shuffle it away with a fetch anyway, so yeah, it doesn't really matter. This is an Urza that we're going to Skyclave. It's fine. It's fine by me. And then Thassa the following turn, we can continue to Skyclave things. Okay. Actually, you know what? Maybe Canopy Vista is the way to go here, just to avoid any super awkward moments. Aether Vial is definitely going to have to wait a little while. Sorry about that, Aether Vial. Looks like double blue, slightly more important than double green at the moment, so I will play out the Flooded Strand and just get a basic island. I don't want the opponent to start spinning Urza, so I'm going to just hit Urza. If they have like a bolt, like a Galvanic Blast or something to deal with Skyclave, so be it. They'll get back a vanilla 4/4, which is not great for us. It can totally kill us, but we can also just bounce the token with Venser next turn if that seems like the best thing to do. Maybe I should hit the Witching Well. Witching Well, when it cracks, it draws 2 cards for 4 mana. All right, Skyclave, well done. Good job. We are definitely playing the control deck here. Like, we are the control deck. Opponent, hopefully out of gas, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. If they go Urza again, I'm definitely just going to play Thassa. I don't know why they're cracking this already, but I guess we'll see. Okay, Thopter Foundry. Construct gets in. Not too bothered by that. And they're holding up 3 mana. It could be... well, Stonehorn is interesting. That's a way to, particularly in combination with Thassa. So I was going to say it could be like Archmage's Charm. I have no idea what kind of counter magic they run. But leaving up 3 mana like that looks a little bit sketchy. Oh, they can't sack Witching Well, right? So possible that just with 2 cards they don't have anything but lands. We're definitely going for Thassa here, and I am... Well, if I blow up the Thopter Foundry, they'll be getting at me for at least 2 plus the 4. I can afford to take a little bit of damage. Next turn I can resolve Stonehorn. I could also just... Well, the thing is, I don't want to let them combo off. If they had a sword, they would have played it already, but they can't they... They can cast that X spell, Whir of Invention here, right? Whir of Invention for X equals 2 is nice for them to start comboing, but it's not like a super infinite combo. It doesn't actually go infinite, right? So, yeah, the play here, I guess, is to attack, right? Can't really see how that goes wrong. Get some information. Like, I'm not going to block next turn. Okay, well, I mean, I kind of saw this as a possibility. Oh, they get to attach this thing to it. Well, so now I can cast Venser and just like bounce the... Oh, they have the sword in the graveyard. I'm silly. All right. Yeah, but they can only sack non-tokens, right? So for now, they don't have it. They can keep sacrificing Sword of the Meek. So I think I probably just want to bounce the token right now, right? Like in response. If they have like Mono Leak or something, that would be a little bit dirty. Doesn't look like they do. All right, not exactly what I was planning to do that turn, but it. Oh man! All right, so they do get back the sword even if the target goes away. I guess it's not a target. It's just all right. They're gonna start gaining life, start getting in, but we're gonna play as if they don't have any counters. Oh, they're still blocking me, huh? I could have obviously handled that better. I think the problem was I thought that if I bounced the token, this the sword would not make its way back to the battlefield. Yeah, no, I just didn't. That was just laziness from me, guys. That's my bad. We're not totally out of it yet, but it's going to be a slog. Oh, they have Galvanic Blast just to finish me off, so... So if I had played Thassa, I mean, they had a Galvanic Blast in hand, which obviously wasn't going to be good for us either way. It's possible they just drew it since they didn't cast it last turn using their mana. But how could I have done that differently? Basically, I didn't need to attack with Skyclave. I played into, unfortunately, the fact that they could sack Witching Well and get the sword back. That's just my bad for not playing against this for like 6 months. So down a game, not necessarily the worst matchup in the world, but potentially not the best either. I think Worship is definitely good in this matchup. It's somewhat counterintuitive because it is a combo deck, but they do win through combat. So combo deck that wins through combat. I don't know that they bring in counter magic. Maybe they do. Path seems okay for the Engineer and for Urza and potentially for large constructs. Purge hits their Thopter Foundry and potentially some other things. Winds is okay, I guess, but if they're at that point making infinite tokens, I'm not sure, or semi-infinite. Auriok effectively sort of negates their combo, so I think Auriok's worth bringing in. I guess Ashiok, they're probably searching their library, right? So Ashiok seems good, Knight seems good, and then I need to hustle with taking things out. Okay, so speaking of hustling, taking things out. Man, sometimes it's like really hard decisions. Auriok, Meddling Mage, Knight of Autumn. Meddling Mage naming Thopter Foundry is the way to go here. Maybe since we're bringing in 2 purges, I don't know. Like Path is important, Force is important. I'll trim. Maybe I trim Uro. Guys, I have to make some decisions. Venser, I don't know. Thassa, like 4 drops that are not super critical. Maybe I'll leave in Thassa, take out Solar. I don't know. I have to make some decisions quickly. Maybe only 1 purge because it's only for that 1 card. Maybe 3 forces in. I don't know, guys. Take out 2 Watchers. Take out 1 call. All right. I still need to cut some things. Maybe another 1 path, another call, and we can run it back like that. So this is not just the Ether Vial build, which I am somewhat unfamiliar with sideboarding. It's also a deck I just haven't seen in a bazillion months, and just like don't have like a sideboard plan super at my fingertips. This is fine. Keep this. Go white blue on turn 1, I guess into green. We do need more blue to cast Ashiok, but if we don't draw blue, we can always just pitch that to force, which is fine. Opponent kept 7. Hey Cal, it's going fine. We're 1-0. Playing against Thopter Foundry combo. Lost game 1, unfortunately. I misstepped forgetting that they had the sword in the graveyard and they could easily just get it back. Totally my bad. Not sure I would have won the game, but we were not in a very bad position. So there's extra blue mana to be able to cast Ashiok soon. You see they do play fetches, and I'm pretty sure they probably play Whir of Invention. But the play here is going to just be, I guess, basic Forest into Ice Fang. Next turn we can go get maybe basic Plains, basic Island, and then I guess we'll sort of see how it goes. I'm not sure if Skyclave is going to be better. Opponent not cracking their fetch yet. Could be good for us. Well, never mind. Okay. If they play like Thopter, okay, so it's an engineer. We do have to kill that thing next turn with Skyclave. So, but this does put the sword in the graveyard. So now we have force up after playing Skyclave to be able. Oh, they put Thopter Foundry in the graveyard. So I guess maybe they have the sword in hand. Either way, we can force whatever piece they play. So I don't know. Continuing to draw blue cards would be nice, I guess. Basic lands, maybe not the best. No lands are the best. I don't want to draw lands here. I guess we can Ashiok it away. That's true. That's a good call. And Ashiok is one of our better cards just to get down on the table. So maybe Ashiok is the play. They could have Force. I'm not sure if they're bringing that in. I think that is the stronger play. So good call, Paintball Demon. Maybe I'll just go get the base. I've got plenty of lands to do whatever I want, so I think just getting basic island is fine. Okay, opponent might be F6'd. I'm not exactly sure what's happening here. Oh, not F6'd. So are we getting forced? We're not. All right. So let's see what they're working with. I think I'd prefer to get the clock ticking here over just like blocking the Goblin Engineer. So the two lands off the top of the deck were pretty poor. Imagine if this was like another snake and something else good. Then we'd, be sitting pretty. Opponent with the sword, which we can't force, but we can draw into knight or something like that. Just blow it up. Goblin Engineer getting in at Ashiok. Fair enough. I guess I could just blow up the sword. That seems like the way to go. But if I blow up sword, then they get it back with Goblin Engineer. So probably not the best. Oh, I can blow up the sword and then get rid of it. Oh, I'm exiling the sword. I'm not blowing it up. So guys, bear with me. If you feel like I'm if I'm saying something wrong, I usually catch it like pretty fast. So exile the sword seems totally fine. It sort of negates their last turn. I can just play a tapped Temple Garden. I'd love to just thin the deck with these fetches, but we can always do that. I don't know. Thin the deck, get a... Well, I do need to get white here, so I'll just play this Windswept Heath and go get Canopy Vista. Opponent is F6 here, I think, unless just the system is running a little weird. Yeah, okay. So let's piece out the Sword of the Meek, and we can continue getting in. Opponent, like, their plan would be to untap, play a land, play Urza. I keep saying Urza because I'm so used to saying Uro. Urza. Sounds weird. Urza. As I said, Paintball Demon, I usually get there, and I got there. So now maybe they're holding up Cryptic Command or something. Oh my god. So now I am going to play the fetch. There's nothing in the graveyard. It's possible they could have like a Snapcaster or something. So maybe where are my Ephemerates? I haven't drawn a single Ephemerate this evening yet. So I guess the question is, do I get in with the Skyclave or not? I might as well. Like if whatever. Like if they have a removal spell and they're saving it to combat, I can always just force it. And I'll play this Ether Vial tech and pass the turn with Force Up. Opponent didn't play Urza on their turn. So now we can see if they play Urza on... Oh, well, it's not a big deal. It's just a redraw for them. I'm certainly not going to waste my force on that. Okay, I assume they're getting in at Ashiok again. And given the sort of pattern of their play here, have to imagine... I mean, they should probably just crack this on their main phase, but looks like they're too proud to do that. Uh, blue, white. It's fine. Doesn't matter. Can we please get a draw other than... It's amazing that I'm in a semi-dominant position in this game, despite having drawn so many lands. Well, when they played this, I started thinking about force. We are going to attack. We're going to let them get at Ashiok. I mean, at this point, we've got the force up. If they have like a whir, we can counter it. I could run Witness out just as a body, but honestly, I think getting back, like, they're gonna crack this for sure. I'm like 99% sure, and then we can cast something, we can force something, and then get force back next turn. So, tapped Temple Garden now, and then pass the turn. Crack your Nile Spellbomb, and yeah, see, I mean, pretty telegraphed. If the opponent gives us even more time, we can just play Eternal Witness through Aether Vial. Oh, they can get this back if they feel like it with Goblin Engineer, which, again, is sort of fine. Not the end of the world, but I didn't quite see that loop when I was talking about Eternal Witness and Force. Pithing Needle, I can't really see that being a big problem. I don't really care if they name Aether Vial. So you got it, opponent. Could name Goblin Engineer, seems best. Okay, they named Aether Vial. If they attack, they can't bring back the Nile Spellbomb, which is quite nice. Another Goblin Engineer. So I'm probably going to bottom out Ashiok here. Oh, well, they can't search their library, so it's fine. Okay, but we still haven't gotten to use our force, which is weird. And now I can't use Aether Vial, which is also weird. All right, so they can't search. And I guess, we'll see how it goes. Oh, I can bottom out Ashiok and then go get it back with Eternal Witness. So blue card here would be the best. Eternal Witness, super awkward. They could have a counter spell up here, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. I've got my own counter spell up if it really mattered. Okay, but now I don't have force up, which is a little bit scary, but the opponent is rebuking it. Fair enough. I've got another Eternal Witness in hand. It'll get down with Aether Vial next turn, so I'm going to keep attacking, I think. All right, shields down. Opponent at 5. We've got lethal on board. No force. No force. Tapped Steam Vents. Opponent probably not going to get in. Okay, so what do we got here? We are flooding like crazy this game. Attacking with this is poor now, but we can keep getting in the air. Might as well go for that here. I can go Eternal Witness, get back Ashiok, cast it. If they do go like whir in response, I can force it. Oh, I can't use Aether Vial. That's obnoxious. That's true. That's true. I could, but I missed that, I guess. But thank you for pointing out that I could have targeted myself, but I kind of prefer to get rid of artifacts out of the opponent's graveyard. So at this point, I kind of feel like I'll get back Ashiok, but I don't think I'll cast it. I think I just like getting back, maybe they think that they're clever and they'll do the same thing where they'll counter my Ashiok again. And now I think I'm just going to pass with force up. Next turn I can comfortably, well, not so comfortably because I don't have that much blue. Opponent just scooped. Block, take 3. Not sure it was time to scoop yet, but maybe they just have a handful of lands. That's only game 2. Oh, you know what? I always say that incorrectly with Ashiok, or I always remember it incorrectly. So you can target me. I can target me or the opponent. If I target myself, it puts stuff in my graveyard and then exiles the opponent. If I target the opponent, it puts stuff in their graveyard and still exiles the opponent. Right? Okay. I know how my cards work. I promise. I just forget sometimes. But again, thank you very much for pointing that out. So I feel like I was a little bit rushed during sideboarding decisions, so let's carefully reconsider anything I might have missed. They obviously have counter spells in the deck. So is Veil a good choice? Maybe Winds of Abandon just gets rid of a bunch of... I didn't have 6 lands that game. It didn't seem like I was super close to 6 lands. Another Purge for the Thopter Foundry. Is there something? I guess it also hits. It hits the Goblin. So thank you for that. What should I trim in to balance things? I like at least 3 forces here. Thassa Super Dirtily. It's a very front-loaded match where we're trying to stop their combo. So I'm sort of fine keeping Soulherder in and protecting it. So I think I'm on the same page as far as Veil goes. We don't know exactly how many counter spells they have, but it's probably just like some number of Metallic Rebukes. As Ceremonious Rejection, all their things have colors, right? The only thing this is really countering is like the Sword of the Meek, which just goes to the graveyard anyway. So I don't think that this is super good, unless they play like Engineered Explosives, but we have a pretty diverse curve, so I don't know that Engineered Explosives is going to get us. Maybe Force is just the nuts, though, in this matchup. I think I want all 4 forces, and maybe I'll just trim another Watcher and run it back like that. All the Planeswalkers are pretty solid in the matchup, I think. They run Pithing Needle, but it was very poor that game, so it's possible they're going to sideboard it out. I don't feel like I want to take Aether Vial out. This is pretty gas-tastic. The opponent's mulliganing to 6. We're going to keep this. If we get to 4 lands, Worship can be quite good, I think. Opponent is significantly ahead on the clock, which is pretty bad. But we have more than enough time to finish out this game. So if they play Thopter Foundry, we're just going to purge it. If they don't, we're going to name something with Meddling Mage. Okay, that's beautiful for us. Really nice, because it lets us use our mana effectively. We're going to get green-white and then blue-white, I guess. Okay, well, it's do or die time as far as lands go now. Not going to let them counter my stuff. So let's just purge right now. Pass the turn with Force Up and really just sort of pray that we draw land. We don't just immediately lose if we don't draw land, but it's really bad for us. I think in this spot, like if I have to choose what card I pitch to force, I mean, maybe... Okay, opponent looks like they're redrawing. I think I let this go. Again, we're sort of just focused on their combo. Oh my god, we drew a land. So I think I use this opportunity to get Ashiok down and just hose their fetch lands. No, oh my god, yes. All right. So we don't even have mana for I think I'm just going to keep him on 5. Like, just try to keep him outside of any... Like, there's really no call to start milling, I don't think. Although it is sort of a separate win condition. If I get all 5 off, it mills 20 cards out of their library, and they are a combo deck. So maybe I mill, and if they go after him, I can... So I guess I want to... Yeah, I want to mill them, I think, right? Okay, well, they do have Whir. We didn't see that up to this point. Definitely have to redraw here. Yeah, and Soulherder's not very great, right? So that seems to be the clear choice. Opponent definitely digging for lands. This is turn 4 for them. We don't have a creature down yet, so, you know, not a lot of pressure involved. Witching Well is going to scry 2. That's totally fine. Once again, we are holding up force for very significant things. They went bottom. Maybe no lands. So I think that I continue sort of being a jerk with my planeswalkers. I could also get a clock down. I could also play Meddling Mage, naming something important. I think I'll just continue milling them. I kind of like that. We do have double green now. We got rid of an Urza. I mean, just to ferry and tick it down seems fine. Like, I just want to draw better options at this point. Although, this is an opportunity to just sort of get worship on the board, which I don't even know what Mage would name right now. It could name Thopter Foundry. Thopter Foundry, probably, I guess, because they don't need to actually cast the sword. I'm going to play Teferi and tick him down. I'm not going to bounce the Witching Well, though. Hey, that was nice. I like it. All right. Good running. Okay, Bobble. I agree that it seems good getting a clock going. Thopter Foundry, I think that's forcible. I think I'm going to force that. And then probably just play Mage, naming Thopter Foundry. They have 2 Thopter Foundries in their graveyard. So I only have 1 Soulherder, but I also only have 1 Meddling Mage. So oh my god, I think this is annoying. I think I pitch Soulherder here. It's just yeah, I'll pitch Soulherder. It's fine. We really need some creatures. All right, that was a great draw. And I'm going to tick Teferi up. I'm going to continue milling the opponent. Okay, you guys can check that out. Seems like some good stuff over there. I will play Meddling Mage. Sorry, that's not what I wanted to tap. Blue and white. Name Thopter Foundry. Say okay, and pass the turn. Opponent looked at, I guess, my top deck. All right, third land. It's got to be good for them. Something like an Eternal Witness would be pretty much the nuts for us here, I think. Engineer Explosives on 3. They get rid of both my planeswalkers, but neither of my creatures. And I guess maybe they have a bunch of search type. Oh, they probably have lands in hand that they can't search with. Search with. So just more creatures at this point. That's a good one. We do get another mill out of Ashiok. Okay, we hit another Urza. Play this, play the Worship, and then start playing fast. Because we're like significantly... Oh, I forgot to tick up Teferi. That was bad, but... Okay. Okay, Auriok. And we will draw an Eternal Witness off the top. Or a Force. Or an Ashiok. Okay. Okay, this could be an Urza, which would be suboptimal. There's 2 Urzas in the graveyard, or exiled. No, 3 Urzas exiled. Yeah. But they did name Artificer. Oh, okay, Goblin Engineer. I don't know if Urza is actually an Artificer. Oh, it is. That's funny. It's a tribal deck. So I guess like a path or something that can deal with this thing off the top would be nice. What did they get? They got nothing. Oh, they couldn't search. That's that's pretty funny. They can't block this guy either. Can't really block effectively on any of my creatures. I don't know why they didn't tap Cavern if they were going to cast in Artificer. Okay. Emery is going to put stuff in the graveyard. And we're going to mill the bejesus, or, exile it. Oh, there's that last Urza. Well, come on, deck. You can do better than that. Well, at this point, Ashiok is looking legit. So let's not attack with Meddling Mage. Do attack with these things. Yeah, seems fine. Whatever. Actually, that was poor. Oh my god, guys. That's so poor. But I don't know. Auriok, the least of my concerns here, but I just so stupid. So stupid. Getting a little cocky there. My bad. Yeah, I know. Exclamation points. I know. It's easy to get into a pattern of thought with Auriok Champion that nothing can block it. But then the second that I clicked OK, I remembered that in fact things can block it. So seems like the opponent is a little bit backed up. They've got no Urzas left in the deck. They're on 14 cards. We've got 3 Eternal Witnesses left in the deck that can buy back Ashioks and just mill them out. I mean, they still have to deal with my creatures and then with Worship if they actually want to win the game. Opponent thinking. They could tap out to draw 2 cards with Witching Well. But at this point, I'm on the mill plan. I'm on the draw and Eternal Witness plan. Ugh. All right. Well, that gets to kill one of my creatures, and they can buy it back. Oh my god, that's nasty. Okay. All right. Things are going downhill, guys. I could have. Well, Auriok actually doesn't help against that. Okay, they got it back. Now, they can't pay red right now. They can attack Ashiok. Okay, I need a really good draw here. I need to stop messing around. I keep drawing lands and Ether Vials. Oh. I think I have to keep milling them, though. You guys can check out their yard over here and see if they have any combo pieces left. Going to play my Ether Vial. I am going to attack. If they want to kill the Ashiok, that's totally fine. But Worship and Ice Fang are a dynamic duo right now. I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. They can keep recurring this and dealing 2 damage to my face. Seems like it could get there. Okay, this gets in at Ashiok. They probably have a handful of counter spells at this point. Can you guys check here, please, and let me know like any interesting, significant points of interest? I should have maybe saved that. I don't know. But Deputy is kind of fun. That means I can get rid of this thing, make it harder for them to actually kill my creatures and pass the turn. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think that was probably correct to do it when they were tapped out. Now, we still haven't seen a single Ephemerate this entire league, I don't think. So, Ephemerate would be good here, like Blink the Deputy kind of situation. Wait, what? Okay. Oh my god, guys, that's obnoxious. So I just have to pass the turn here. I'm not dying to the Thopter Foundries, right? As long as they can't kill my creatures, I'm not dying, so I can just F6. I have the Spell Bomb underneath the Deputy. So I guess that doesn't matter either. As long as I can keep a creature on the battlefield, I should be fine, right? So creatures, please, deck. I have so many creatures. Well, there's an Ephemerate. So I'm just going to pass the turn. Chill on the Ephemerate for now. Ephemerate just counters a removal spell, which is all they have drawing here. They're down to 5. They could have Collective Brutality, which would be a blowout. Do you guys see any Collective Brutalities in the side? Nah, I mean... Oh, you know what? They can play that Dead of Winter card. I could really use an Eternal Witness here. Maybe I should just... I'd have to Ephemerate in response to a board wipe, I guess. Taking 8 here, I think, which is sort of fine. And I'm not going to offensively use my Ephemerate. It's just too good defense here. So... Creatures, come on. Give me a creature. Okay, opponent's going to start making Thopters, I guess, which is a little bit silly, but... I still have to sort of rapid fire F2 through it instead of F6 because they could just slide in like a lightning bolt or something, which I'm not about here. All I have to do if they cast like a board wipe is cast Ephemerate, draw into any creature. If they collected Brutality me, that would be so dirty. Oh, fuck, guys, this is getting extremely statistically unlikely. X equals 2. I guess I let that resolve. Witching Well. Okay, fair enough. They went top. They went top. That's frightening. Huh. What would they top? They have one card left. I guess they... How about that worship, though? Impossible. Like, it's been like 5 turns. Like, I drew this Ether Vial. Oh, wait, what's happening here? Galvanic Blast. I think I have to respond here, right? By blinking. Or trying to. If they have like a couple of counter spells, I could potentially pay for them. Mystical Dispute. We say okay. And we pay 1, 2, and 3. And we say yes. And we say okay. Oh, come on. What? Guys, how did I not draw another creature? No, I don't need to set up auto yields because I'm fine, right? I have 3.5 minutes. I'm not going to lose on time. So they're going to kill me because I drew 2 Ether Vials and 3 lands in a row. I could have drawn any creature in my deck to beat this situation here. This is maddening. They're gonna get back their blast or pirate spell bomb, and I'm going to lose. Oh my god. It's absurd. I can't remember a time when I drew so badly for so many turns in a row when all I needed was literally like anything. Even another Ephemerate would be more than enough here. Opponent just taking a lot of time for some reason. Just not exactly sure what they're thinking about. So anyhow, I'm like this much tilted right now, so excuse me if I seem a little bit off or upset. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. It was stupid of me, very stupid of me to attack with Auriok. So I guess that's the takeaway here, is I didn't need to attack with Auriok. Just like a split second. If that was in paper, I would have been like this and then been like, Auriok, no, don't want to attack. But I clicked OK and immediately checked it. I don't know if the opponent's being a jerk here or what, but they're not letting it resolve and they're not disconnecting. So Faust, you don't have to hate to say it, but let me know, what were the misplays? I attacked with Auriok, and what else? Tell me some other misplays. I would like to hear them because I don't think I made a lot of misplays. I'm happy to discover them. All right, so the opponent has disconnected. I'm sure they're just going to reconnect and finish the game. Yeah. So no. They disconnected. So I think my system even slows down a little bit when, and you guys might be noticing a little bit of lag in the stream. I'm not sure, but when we get like 1,000 permanents on the battlefield, my system doesn't run very well. I think it's just part of how Magic Online deals with it. It seems like it shouldn't be very resource intensive to just copy the same object, but apparently it is very resource intensive. But I think Faust, that naming, it seemed to me that naming. Anyhow, we can address it in just a moment. This is so absurd. But I named Meddling Mage was naming Thopter Foundry. Am I not? I'm pretty sure that was the case, right? I mean, minor optimizations are fine, but I think at the point when I ticked to ferry down, I just didn't have much in hand that I could work with and sort of just needed more cards. I guess to think that you wait and let them play something out and then bounce it and name it with Meddling Mage is clever, but if playing against a combo deck, doesn't it seem like that runs the risk of just getting blown out? I guess I had a force in hand. If they did have both combo pieces, I could have potentially countered one of them if it was absolutely necessary. No, Hot Bread, I'm not sure you're completely understanding the value of Auriok. It negates their combo entirely, and they can't remove Auriok Champion because they play red removal. They can play engineered explosives to particularly deal with Auriok Champion, but every time a Thopter enters the battlefield, we gain a life. So all they're doing is attacking with a 2/3 every turn. Let's see. Sideboarding in Auriok, I'm not trying to gain life. It's not the point. It's just that they're well, I guess I see what you're talking about now, because they can just keep 10 Thopters, right? And if they keep 10 Thopters, they keep coming at me, and it's not like they're making infinite Thopters every turn. So you guys are right, and Pyrite does kill it for sure. So this is all good talk here. Again, it's not a matchup you see every day in Modern these days. And I can say with absolute certainty I haven't played against it with this particular. I don't think I can draw a card anymore, but I'm sure it would have been a creature off the top of the deck. That was just so the thing that you guys are talking about here. Yeah, no, that's there's a delay in chat, so. You guys are right about Auriok. I was thinking that it was just going to like offset their making Thopters, but that's not really the dynamic, because it offsets their Thopters until they have like a lethal army, and then they can just get in for 10-10-10. It really just offsets like 10 life. So you guys are completely correct. I misread the role of that card in the matchup, so I don't think I'd bring it in again, just because I guess I understand at this point. So let's see. Ashiok did a really, really excellent job. And I did make a couple of missteps, but I don't know. I feel pretty comfortable saying like the main reason that I lost here was. So hang on a second, guys. Auriok might still be worth bringing in against this particular opponent, right? Oh, I see. So Pyrite can kill the Auriok, but I would have had an extra creature on the battlefield, and so then I would have had, like, in theory, Snake, Deputy, and Auriok, and then if they got back their Spellbomb, they couldn't kill both of the 2 creatures remaining unless they had, like, another piece of removal in hand. Oh, I guess they could just recur it with Emery, but then they don't have extra red mana, right? So I guess Auriok dies to enough stuff in their deck that it's probably not worth bringing in. No, I'm pretty sure that's just strictly incorrect. In situations where all you need to do to win is just protect your creatures, it just has to be incorrect to burn an Ephemerate. Like, we're thinking the opponent's going to top deck Galvanic Blast, right? In which case we need to be able to respond to it, right? I don't know. Like, they had the Gal Blast. I responded, and they had 2 counter spells. So I'm not sure that you can call that cute. It's literally, in my opinion, in my experience with this deck, it's like strictly the best way to play. So anyhow, guys, that was a long game. I'm going to take a 30-second break. I'll be right back. I'm sorry. So, hot bread. I'm not sure. So let's. And it's not very important. I just want to make sure I understand. So circumstantial. Who's making? Am I making circumstantial arguments for decisions that, on average, don't pay off? So maybe we're talking. I mean, because I agreed with pretty much everything everybody's saying. It took me a second to get there in the thought process, right? So I agree that Auriok is not that great in the matchup. I completely disagree that casting Ephemerate just like aggressively is correct. It's insane because if I cast it, they can have any kind of removal spell, and now I just gave them value for their removal spell rather than fighting it, right? That's the whole point of Ephemerate in these positions with Worship. So not really sure if that's one of the things that you're talking about, but I'm not sure what the other circumstantial arguments are. So, anyhow, that was an unfortunate one to lose because virtually a lock. I just sort of flooded out. I'm going to need to check the replay if I feel like it. I mean, but I realize another optimization that I could have done was when I still had some life, if it was possible. Like, I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure I drew some of these lands when I had life. I should have been playing them out and thinning the deck. Because with Worship, as long as you have 1 point of life, you should be playing fetches and aggressively cracking them. Because being at 3 life is the same as being at 1 life. Like, it doesn't really matter. So not only do I thin my deck out and increase the odds of drawing more creatures, but also I make it more likely that I can pay for all of their counterspells, which are all taxing effects, right? So Rebuke makes me pay 3. Dispute makes me pay 3. So in theory, if I had gotten these 3 lands onto the battlefield, I'm not sure all of them were possible because I'm pretty sure I drew at least one of them after I took damage down to 1. But if I had 2 down, I could have ephemerated, and then I would have had 6 mana. I could have in theory paid for their second counterspell. So that was a potentially big misstep. If I had even 2 life on the last of these fetches, or the second of these fetches, I would have had enough mana to pay for 2 mana leaks, which is pretty remarkable, actually. So keep that in mind if you ever decide to play with Worship. Really aggressively crack those fetches. It's not really a matter of thinning the deck necessarily. It's just way more efficient. Like, would you rather have 5 lands on the battlefield or 8 lands on the battlefield? So Anyhow, lesson learned. This deck, all the counter spells that they run are taxing kind of counter spells, and so the more lands that we play, the more likely it is that we can effectively sort of push through them. I didn't really not play the lands, I don't think, specifically because I was short on time, but it did contribute to the overall discombobulation, though. Really, the plan at that point was draw creatures, and if you don't draw creatures, play the Ephemerate in response to removal, and we just got double counterspelled, so... I do like... Faust's idea is pretty clever, I think, of playing out Teferi, just ticking it up, seeing them play something, then bounce that with Teferi. I think that's pretty nice, and then name that with Meddling Mage. I'm not sure that it would have let me keep the Force in hand necessarily much longer, and we never drew an Eternal Witness to get back the Force. Meddling Mage, in the end, I mean, it was naming Thopter Foundry, which they eventually resolved once they killed Meddling Mage, but I think that Faust's line was probably better, and I like lines that use two cards making each other better, so... All right, well, maybe we all learned one or two little things from that match. I know I learned several, so... this is a weird opening hand. Opponent starting with 7, Doomwake. This is one of the guys on the table. I'm pretty sure this is like a very talented opponent. It's a young table, but he's on there. We've got lands and spells, but we're on the draw. It's super slow. Not sure what he's playing. If he's playing Neobrand, maybe you guys can Google this guy. Is he playing Neobrand? Because if he is, then I'll keep the hand. If he's not, then I will ship it. One of the things that I've mentioned about this build is that mulligans are kind of nice because if you don't have Ether Vial in your opening hand, it just makes that first mulligan that much easier. You know, you can just go down to 6 pretty comfortably. Not sure if anybody's actually checking this out for me, but I'm going to mulligan in like 3 seconds, unless somebody says he's on Neoform. All right, going once, going twice, and we're mulliganing. All right, this is solid. I think, I can bottom one of these lands, no problem. So I'll keep. Put Canopy Vista on the bottom, and now the opponent's going to turn 1 me with Neoform. Nope, no Neoform, but Ether Vial. Interesting. So we do, let's see, we want to get blue and then white-green. A feeling this guy's going to play very fast. Let's see if I can keep up. Oh, you just type in their username, and their tournament results will be the first hit. Their MTG Goldfish page. Like if you type in M_Joe, opponent has 1 land. It's probably good for us. So I can probably just go get. I probably just want to get the Watcher down on the battlefield here. Well, maybe not. Just pass the turn. Actually, if they activate. Man, that was tricky. Hang on. I need to crack this right now because if it is if they can respond to my fetch with Arbiter, I think I get pretty screwed, right? All right, well, no Arbiter, please. I'd like to get my lands on the battlefield. Thinking ahead, I can bounce this Ether Vial with Teferi. That's pretty slick. Opponent looks like they're... Well, what's happening here? Is this Athalia? Which would be... okay, so I can't play Teferi next turn yet. But I can play Ephemerate, which is something. Soulherder is a good one. Opponent cannot cast Path right now. I might as well get use out of this fetch while I can. So I'll just go get a basic Plains, I think. Play Soulherder. Attack first, I guess. Maybe I want to blink the maybe I want to blink the Watcher. I think I want to blink the Watcher. So Path seems just fine in this matchup, but Call is also super strong with Vile. So why don't I get Call, and I can actually cast Call this turn. Quite like that. But we have to play the Soulherder. Don't forget about that. That would be silly. Oh, wait. I can't cast Call this turn because I'm casting Soulherder, right. But it is nice to have the Call in hand. Would also be nice to get rid of this Thalia at some point. So Stonehorn is sort of an easy one. Any order, and we'll pass. Things going pretty well so far. So I assume you guys are here because you like watching Soulherder, and if you like watching Soulherder, you should probably follow my channel if you're not already doing that. And if you really like watching Soulherder, you might consider subscribing to the channel. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link your account with Twitch Prime, and while you link it with Twitch, then it becomes Twitch Prime, and you get a free subscription. So you can give me your free subscription. Flicker Wisp, gonna blink Soulherder. Oh, blinking Thalia. Oh, so they can path something? Oh, that's clever. But now I get to bounce their So I guess it doesn't really matter too much, but green seems okay. Thalia is going to come back. I'm going to get rid of their Ether Vial. And Path, quite nice. So maybe I Path first and then I play Teferi. Although using Eladamri's Call, well, it's not really relevant yet. I could use it and then go get Eternal Witness, but not super necessary yet. I think it's probably just better to deal with their board right now, but it gives them a second land. Hang on a second. So actually, Skyclave is pretty sweet. I think Skyclave is the best solution. Yeah, I like that idea. I'm still not totally like... Now I can still path Thalia, and then have up Ephemerate. No, I don't have enough white. So path Thalia, call. I can't leave up Ephemerate as well, so I can call. But then, oh well, I can play this. Say yes. Call now, and hold up Ephemerate or path. Oh, wait, hang on a sec. There we go. So we get Skyclave. Thank you very much, Faust, for the suggestion. Nice idea. And no reason to sort of act yet, I don't think. Oh, opponent just conceded. Nice. All right. This is an opponent. This is a guy who really knows what he's doing. I don't know how many times I've played against him, but I've definitely seen him on the trophy table a billion times. And I don't think he has any patience for the kind of nonsense that I'm doing. So he's not just like any other Magic player who will like try to top deck lands, you know, and fight it out. He's just like on to the next match, which you could definitely respect. Like everybody's time is valuable, and their chances in that spot seemed pretty nil, or null. Path. Ceremonious seems sweet. Cause I mean, could very well be taxes, right? I mean, Eldrazi taxes. Pretty sure they always play at least like Displacer these days. So wins is definitely coming in. Opponents probably bringing in their own wins. Don't think Ashiok is very relevant. I don't think Force is relevant either. I guess Knight is good. It's like another Skyclave, basically, for Ether Vials. Opponent probably has their own Skyclaves as well. So I'm not sure that bringing in Worship is really worth it. It's an exiling deck, so I'm not really sure that Uro is all that important in the matchup either. Though life gain could be significant. And with Arbiters, we might actually want to trim some number of... maybe I play Meddling Mage and just name Path to Exile just to make it like a little bit harder for them to deal with my stuff. Because I'm probably going to trim things that I need, like Eladamri's Call can go get creatures, which is great, but if they've got Arbiter out, it makes it pretty difficult. So if I trim 2 calls, you guys have any other suggestions? We've got about a minute left on the clock here. All right. Yeah, Flicker Wisp can also blink a Worship. I've beaten Tax's decks, even though they have Flicker Wisp with Worship. I guess you just get some like air defense down, that kind of thing. Maybe combine it with Stonehorn just to gain time. But I think I'm on the same page with you that well, Mage is just another creature. I feel like it's just better than Eladamri's Call because they're trying to prevent me from searching. So I think I'm going to just submit it like this, and we'll see how terrible Meddling Mage is, and then or how important Eladamri's Call would have been. But I appreciate the suggestions, the advice. I mean, Eladamri's Call was pretty clutch there to go get Skyclave, but we still have 2 in the deck. I'm just trying to hedge a little bit against... This looks fine. Opponent kept 7 as well. Okay. Let's fetch while the fetching is good. It might just actually last 1 turn, which is unfortunate. Well, that was nice. So now I can go get blue-white. Do you think the matchup is free? I don't think so, man. We've got so many fetches. Arbiter kind of wrecks us, no? Should I get a basic island here to hedge against field, or should I just not worry about it? Well, there's a Ghost Quarter. That answers that question. So I'm just going to get a Hallowed Fountain, and we'll see what they do. So we're going to keep fetching so that we get less got by... we get less got by Arbiter, though if they had Arbiter, they would have played it just then. I'm just going to crack right now. Also, obviously, we're feeding the Uro here. We might just crack this into an Arbiter, even if we can't fetch later in the game. So play this now, and then pretty obviously telegraphing, but better for them to use their mana on their turn anyway. Oh, there's that field. Not exactly sure what the opponent's doing over there. What are they doing over there, Faust? Are they trying to get me real bad with an Arbiter, I guess? Well, I can, oh. I can float blue here. It's fine. Fine with me. Well, hang on. Let's see. Let me cancel that. If I float white, use white just to ephemerate, I can go get a basic plains, and then get a just whatever, a basic plains, and then another blue source, or get it. I can get an island and then get a plains and cast Deputy, hitting their Ether Vial. Seems pretty good, good-ish, right? So I just want to float white here, I think. So we get blue. Opponent's going to get white. Maybe path in response to something, but it's fine if they use their path here, because then I get to get Deputy off on the Ether Vial. They seem F6'd here, guys. They seem F6'd. They seem well F6'd. Let's see how it goes with Windswept Heath here. Oh my god, they're F6. So let's hit this Ether Vial. See if we get another snap concession. Okay. Maybe not. Is just a Skyclave hitting our Deputy, which is fine because we can path it, get back a nice 3/3. Getting real close to escaping Uro as well. Rebound, lovely. Give me those cards. Opponent is super F6'd again. And yeah, decent. So I think I might as well just path now. Don't really let him do anything. And then like casting Uro is just pretty bomb here. So get my fetch, use my fetches, right? So okay, Watcher. There's no way they can protect this thing at instant speed next turn, so I might as well just hold up my mana. Play this, and say okay. Could also call, but I think I just want to get rid of this and have a big attacker next turn. Yeah, don't give them the extra mana, and I don't think there's any way that they can protect this thing, so... Going to get a breeding... no? Temple Garden, I guess. Oh, they could... Need to be careful here. Wait. Okay, all right. Let's see what they're working with. Oh man, Resto. Resto would be gross. Oh my god. Oh Jesus, you're scaring me. I should have thought about that too. That's a throwback. But if they tap out for Resto, we get to cast Uro, which seems fine. Stoneforge. Okay. So we can Eladamri's call for our own Skyclave to start blowing things up. If they get Batterskull, we can just get Night of Autumn. I don't know. I don't know if that was the absolute best thing I could have done there. Well, that's pretty good. So play this. Call for something. I can just get in with both of my creatures. Oh, and I'm going to cast Uro. Nice. Okay. So I can cast a bunch of stuff now. Still all at instant speed, I think, is fine. I think just calling for Night seems pretty good. Could call for Witness, get back Ephemerate. I have to be careful with this fetch. I'm going to do it in response to Vial. If they have 2 Arbiters in hand, they can cast 1. I can pay for Arbiter, though, here, so it's not the end of the world. Skyclave here, again, so... Fair enough. There's not really... I can't cast Venser in this spot, so they're dealing with Uro. They're leaving up Stoneforge, so I think I will go get my other basic planes. I've had a lot of life. I can go get a... Oh, they're going to maybe Arbiter here in response? Nope. So Hallowed Fountain. Say yes. We're going to cast Eladamri's Call. Get back Eternal, or get Eternal Witness. Path the Skyclave. I guess, right? Just get some creatures. They put down Batterskull, and I can bounce it back to their hand, I guess, with Venser. All right, getting beefy here with the illusions. Oh, we drew an ephemerate. That's cool. So I'm just going to go to attack here, guys, I think. Venser plus ephemerate plus coatl. I mean, okay. I don't need to cast the Eternal Witness this turn. What is this? Is this going to fight me somehow? Arbiter. That doesn't help too much, but they can block an illusion if they want to. Okay, no illusion blocking. So I don't know. Like, getting down a Watcher could be fine, but I think Coatl is also fine. So I'll just pass the turn. Getting to sort of the scary part where they have Ether Vial on 3. Flicker Wisp in response to Ephemerate is kind of gross. 5 mana. Oh, they're casting Winds. I can bounce that back to their hand. If they have Path, it's pretty good for them. Let me be careful here. Opponent conceded. All right. Venser doing things. Beating the All-Star here with the crazy avatar. But Faust, you seem to know a lot about taxes. Did you say earlier if you play this deck, or if you have a friend who plays it, or what? Because I mean, it's a pretty popular deck, but knowing, for example, that they're on 4 Skyclaves is pretty insider information. I don't know that I would have put them on 4 Skyclaves. But cool that you were here to let me know that that's the case. Let's draw some cards. Ceremonious. So as it turns out, they're not on Eldrazi, I guess. Or again, at least we didn't see it. Pretty sure, because you would have had an Eldrazi temple somewhere. I mean, they're not just going to get by on Ghost Quarters and Fields of Ruin. So you played taxes for 6 years, right? So yeah, you seem like right on the ball with this matchup. Yeah, super cool. So yeah, our deck, I mean, I guess we just drew well here. Like, we should be 3-0 here, honestly. Like, I did have those missteps in game 3 against the Thopter deck, and I whiffed like 5 or 6 top decks in a row where any creature would have been enough to let me win the game. So anyhow, I mean, doing okay, right? Let's try at least one more round. Hey McDerp, I was just saying, currently 2-1. The league going well. We just beat Doomwake. Definitely a talented opponent. Lost to Thopter Foundry. I had a couple of minor-ish missteps that ultimately led to me losing, combined with terrible endgame top decks. But we should probably be 3. In all likelihood, if we ran those back, we'd probably be 3-0 right now. Yeah, this is fine. We've got Watcher plus Ephemerate. Seems fine. We'll keep it. Can call for an Eternal Witness, but it's slowish. Opponent's mulliganing to 6 cards. Once again, welcome to the stream, everybody. Thanks very much for joining me. I think I'm probably going to go... We don't really want to draw land, so maybe I'll start with Breeding Pool. There's a lot of aggression in the format. I'd rather not lose 2 life to a Breeding Pool if I can avoid it. Saying, welcome to the stream, everybody. If you like watching Soulherder, I stream it every Monday night. Occasionally on other nights. So it's Tron. We don't know if it's Eldrazi Tron or not. Might not be super relevant. It's possible that just calling for Eternal Witness is fine here, but we're cruising towards Thassa, which is quite nice. I think we go Watcher, and then turn 3, we just have we can call plus Ephemerate. It seems pretty tight. I would like to stop drawing lands here, so I think I've got the basic plains, which is kind of awkward. If I go like plains into island, then I can get plains into island, then I can go get my canopy vista. So plain seems fine. If I wanted to draw fewer, Soulherder seems good. If I wanted to draw fewer lands, I could have just gotten the island right now. It's probably slightly better. Opponent, I think they mull to 6, right? And now they're just cruising to natural Tron, so not a lot we can do about it except draw force off the top. Unfortunately, that's our second basic plains. So we can ephemerate, get back Soulherder, but that's really not helping us so much here. I'm going to get in with the Watcher. Looks like they're just cruising to Karn, like on turn 3, which is sort of devastating. So I guess I do need to get another white here. So actually blue was not the best plan. So I guess we just have to get blue-white if we want to cast both spells. Or green-white, doesn't really matter too much. So yeah, I mean, all I can do at this point is pass the turn. Ephemerating doesn't really do very much in this spot. Freaking Tron. Mulligan to 6, do nothing for the first 2 turns, and then win the game. Oh, it's blue Tron. That's pretty bad for us, guys. But I am going to go for the Ephemerate, see if they counter it, and then I would go for Eladamri's Call in response. Well, not in response, but just afterwards. Mono blue Tron is such a pain in the ass. All right, so they're dismembering. There's not a lot I can do about that. Leaving up counter magic. So now we go get blue-white. And we cast Eladamri's Call. They may just counter it, which would be fine, of course, for them. If they don't counter it, I mean, they could just... Okay, they don't counter it. I mean, Skyclave seems good, but they run really high CMC permanents, so it's actually not that good. I mean, calling for Witness just seems fine, right? Because I've got all this value in hand, and I need to get back Ephemerate and start doing something, particularly since, well, the opponent didn't counter the call, but they can just counter my creature. Well, whatever. We're going to get an Eternal Witness. It's the best choice. It's an engine card, and it's kind of necessary to do what we want to do. Now, if they do have Condescend in hand, they won't be able to tax me sufficiently here. We'll get green. We will cast our Eternal Witness and just hope that they don't have Remand, because that would be pretty obnoxious. Okay, very nice. Get back Ephemerate, and I'm just going to keep it in hand. It seems like their shields are down now, but they could just be going for... let's just see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. If they... I don't know. They wouldn't have played this if they didn't have... If they had the Tron land and didn't have a counterspell. It seems like they didn't have a counterspell in this situation here. So odds are they don't have the Tron land. There's a Talisman. I feel like I'm in the clear here, and I can just go ahead and call here, or not call, but Ephemerate. If they've got more removal, you know, they've got more removal. But whatever, they didn't have the counterspell last turn. Okay, so Contortion. This is what happens when you get like offensive with your Ephemerates. You run into stuff like that. But I did it because it was sort of fine, because we've got Soulherder plus Coatl next turn. Okay, the path was probably suboptimal here. Well, Call is a good card. All right, Soulherder, do Soulherder things. Opponent with the second Dismember? Couldn't be. Couldn't be. Oh my god. All right, well, second Dismember. Fair enough. And, you know, third Tron piece off the top. Why not? Seems good. Okay, Walking Ballista. It's a use for Path to Exile. Actually, not terrible for us if they get the Walking Ballista here. Now, I need to avoid just drawing like Ether Vials now because it's just a bad top deck on top of being unusable with Karn on the battlefield. Karn is a pretty deep well of resources, I have to say. So let's see. Let's get rid of this thing right now. Peace out. And then I can call for another witness, but I can't cast it this turn. Well, so they can get like Academy Ruins to get that back, so they didn't want to actually ramp. I think it's just correct to get Thassa down here. Although I can, yeah, I'll get Thassa down here. They get to go get another something from the graveyard. Not the graveyard, their sideboard. That's what I meant to say. Indestructible, so Blast Zone not going to kill Thassa. But this, just so you guys know, this is an incredibly difficult matchup for us. They are low on resources. I totally agree. But they get to go get Tolaria West. Hang on. There you go. Oh god, Sundering Titan, guys. This is part of why this matchup is pretty ridiculously bad. Sundering Titan. Did they just... What did they... Hang on a sec. What did they... Expedition map for... It must have been for... Oh, they just got an Urza's Tower. I thought they were going to get Tolaria West and Transmute, but they actually had the Sundering Titan in hand. So I might as well just hit this thing right now. Like, I'm going to lose one of my planes, but I'm also just, like, not going to die to the Sundering Titan. Oh, I guess they went and fetched the Sundering Titan. Now they have to blow up their island, I think. Oh, no. They got an island, and now they have to blow up an island. But they just blow up one of them. All right. So it's the Battle of the Top Decks, but I only have one land, so... All right, Thassa. We get it. So I'll pretty much scoop to anything at this point. They can even attack me with Talisman of Dominance. Seems like a fine play. Just like running lands here. I'll give it a couple turns. We'll see how it goes. All right, maybe one more turn, maybe two more turns. I mean, Karn is getting to the point where he can even search again now. It's just an unfortunate pairing, particularly after losing earlier. Now they get to... All right, guys. They drew the Academy Ruins off the top. Oh, no, they played Academy Ruins last turn, I guess. I wasn't paying attention. All right, so they're getting something else from their sideboard. I guess we get a little bit more information. Trinisphere. Fair enough. Well played, opponent. I will give them the GG. Because they played the deck well. Definitely not salty about that. Let's see. MTGO is freaking out. Okay. So we do have one Ceremonious Rejection, which is quite good in the matchup. Night of Autumn, also okay. I think Ashiok is good. They tend to search their deck a fair amount. With Tolaria West and Expedition Map, forces are good. I don't know about Meddling Mage. Veil is quite good. I think I trim one path, leaving in two paths for Walking Ballistas and other things. Maybe I just play Meddling Mage naming Walking Ballista because that card is such a pain in the butt. If you guys have any ideas, feel free to share them. I think I probably take Skyclave out just because all of their permanents cost like 18 mana. I guess it does hit. It does hit Little Karn, which is significant. It also hits Walking Ballista. It also hits Trinisphere. So maybe Skyclave is good enough to keep in, but we do have to make some cuts. Uro is good at grinding. This card is quite good in matchups that don't play a ton of removal and aren't very aggressive. Eladamri's Call, they can counter it, but it is an instant speed spell. We don't have too many like slam dunk creatures that I think we're courting for here, or rather calling for, so maybe I can trim a couple of those. Ether Vial seems very good. Venture seems okay. Thassa seems sort of fine. Stonehorn is bad. Yeah, I'm with you. Molecule, good catch. Salt Molecule, nice name. Maybe trim one more call. I kind of like Uro. I don't know. Maybe trim the coiling, maybe Coiling Oracle and one more card. Maybe one more path. I don't know. We've got Skyclave. We've got Meddling Mage to help deal with Walking Ballista. They could obviously they play Sundering Titan as well. I think a big sort of turning point in that game was when the opponent top decked their Urza's Tower. This is nice. We'll keep it. I think I'd prefer to stop drawing lands here, so I'll just go fetch like a... Life total also doesn't matter, and I'm not sure how much Death Touch matters, so double green, double blue seems good to get a breeding pool here. All right, Ether Vial down. We've got cards that do what we want to do, but we'd love to draw like a Ceremonious Rejection or something like that. Another Ether Vial. I don't think I want to play that right now. I do think that I want to just main phase a Snake. I mean, I could just Vial it in next turn, but I mean, whatever. Just get our beats going now. So, what do we got? All right, well, not the best. Opponent cruising towards Tron. Ceremonious or just regular force off the top, please. I think opponent kept 7 here. The one path that I kept in the deck, straight to the top of the deck, why not? Playing Eternal Witness here seems poor, so I think instead I'll just play the island and attack with the Icefang Coatl. Play the Ether Vial. I don't know. As I said before, very, very difficult matchup, particularly Bluetron. They come running like really heavy with the Walking Ballistas. Our Ether Vial can just get turned off by Little Karn. We're not really set up well to deal with it. We don't have another blue card, even if we Ephemerate in response to something like a Karn. To get a blue, like a force, we don't have a blue spell to pitch. We could draw into Ceremonious. We'll see what the opponent does with their mana. I mean, if they just play Walking Ballista, that's actually sort of fine for us because we can just path it, but then it gets them on blue mana, which is sort of unfortunate for us as well. Relic, I mean, whatever. Relic is Relic. Okay. I think I'm in a position here, guys, where I have to sort of slow roll this Ephemerate a little bit. I'm not really doing too well with like the card value, and I need to make sure that I get value out of all my cards. So if the opponent tries to, you know, Spatial Contortion, then I can potentially save the Icefang. Another fetch just thins the deck, seems fine by me. Things are getting a little desperate here. Like, they get to play blue mana here and then hold up counter spells for the rest of the game. So I guess I go for Ephemerate here, and if they have something, can vial in Eternal Witness and either get back Ephemerate or the Snake. All right, that's fine. So, yeah. I think I'll just get back... I don't know, Ephemerate's pretty good. I'll get back Ephemerate. Could also just get back the Snake, draw cards. But getting back Ephemerate, it's tricky. I mean, I can vial in the Snake, which just guarantees value. So I think I'm just going to get the Snake here, guys. I know Ephemerate is the sick combo with Eternal Witness. But, oh, right, of course. Relic of Progenitus, they got me. Nobody said anything. It doesn't even matter. Like, they have the relic, they have to use it. And, you know, what's the point of keeping Eternal Witness in hand forever if it's my only creature? So it's kind of funny that I didn't even think about it. Kind of funny. All right, so it would be a nice time to actually draw something meaningful here. Yes and no. I mean, like a Venser would be kind of cool. A Watcher's sort of okay. But no real reason to get that down right now. I could path it and main phase something, but they still have counter magic up. They have Tron assembled. And they could have another piece of removal, which would let them kill Watcher with it on the stack. So I made that mistake earlier in this league of playing Watcher out on my own turn when the opponent had mana up. So just like slight inefficiencies that can end up losing games. All right, I think I still wait. I think I'm probably just end-stepping the Watcher unless something changes my mind. Okay, opponent with extra lands to pitch. They untap with 8 cards in hand, 7 cards in hand. Don't feel great about this spot. But we will have a 4-turn clock, in theory. And I did leave just 1 Path to Exile in the deck. Ephemerate, the clear choice. The opponent let it resolve. We'll say any order. All right, so now it makes it sort of bad for them to remove that, which is something. But still, Mono Blue Tron with 6 cards in hand. Not sure how I feel about that. Jesus. Deck is not cooperating with the top decks this evening, I don't think. Like, by and large, we've been getting wrecked when it comes time to draw important cards. Snapcaster. Okay, no Snapcaster. But I think we do want to thin the deck out, so I'm happy enough to just play the Windswept Heath. That was something that we also didn't do well in the match against the Thopter combo, playing out our lands when we could have been thinning. Okay, opponent with 2 more lands, including Tolaria West. Super curious, do they just have another Tolaria West in hand? Why wouldn't they just Tolaria West for like a Walking Ballista? Karn is obnoxious, turns off our Ether Vials. We'll see what there's not even anything good to get back from my graveyard for now, so just say okay and hope that they just go for like Walking Ballista. If they go for Walking Ballista, I just lose my creatures. It's pretty terrible. As I said, very difficult matchup, particularly when we don't draw any forces, don't draw any Ceremonious Rejections. I used to play Pithing Needles in my sideboard, but once I sort of copied Nathan's Ether Vial build and then have slowly been modifying it. Opponent also has potential like Remand up, but I've got that covered, so yeah, I don't know, whatever. End step. Karn is so stupid. I hate that card. Okay, he got me. All right, well, I do have a graveyard now, so Eternal Witness, not the worst draw in the world. Tron opponent still on 5 cards. you guys are very quiet in chat right now. And just basic forest is fine here. Yeah, basic forest. All right, once again, we're in a position where I absolutely need to draw something meaningful. So we know what's going to happen here. Are any of you guys watching this? So sad. Like, I couldn't even get a creature off of Watcher. It dug like 4 deep in the deck. And all we could find was an Ephemerate. All right, so what are we getting now? Another Walking Ballista. Oh god. All right, it's Thundering Titan again. This is so stupid. I think I'm just pretty sure I'm done because they blow up like what, 3 of my lands now and 3 when it leaves the battlefield. Whatever. I'll play it out for like 1 turn. They've got counter magic up. I can draw into like exactly. Well, I'm losing all these lands, so it's pretty terrible. I'll thin the deck because in theory it should have some effect. I mean, this is a really solid plan against our deck. Just get Sundering Titan and win the game. Pretty easy. So, guys, let's check back in with me right now. I don't know. Look, the last 3 draws were literally 3 Windswept Heaths. They didn't even give me any diversity in my fetches. So, I'll tell the opponent GG again. Good luck with the rest. But it was 3 Windswept Heaths in a row when it was crunch time. I guess, again, top decks, will make the difference between like a 2-3 league or like a 5-0 league. So, I don't know that I would have beaten Bluetron almost no matter what. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's one of our worst matchups. Karn shuts off Ether Vial. All their counter spells just stop us from like getting down meaningful spells. And if something does get down, they do run a bunch of Dismembers and Spatial Contortions, and all of our creatures are tiny. So anyhow, just terrible running against a terrible matchup. You got to keep your head up though, just to show you guys how I roll. No salt at all. Let the opponent know they played well. And return to the details. All right, let me take a quick break and then we'll wrap the league up. All right, well, thanks for sticking with me to the end, guys. 2 pretty easy rounds. One of them against Doomwake. So, he kept a 1-lander, and we punished it pretty hard in game 1. And then he kept a really weird hand in game 2. Sort of inexplicable. I mean, maybe they had like Plains, Ghost Quarter, Ether Vial, and that's sort of good enough. But then a lot of intensive casting costs, like a bunch of Skyclaves. So, anyhow, that round ended up being very easy. The first round, I think, ended up being pretty easy, but can't remember what deck that was now. I'm getting a little tired. But then just a very unfortunate pairing, one of the worst matchups possible against Blutron. And this was an unfortunate combination of missteps and insanely bad top decks. So the opponent, we needed one more turn against the opponent because we had Worship down. And if we had drawn in the top 5 cards of the deck, even one creature, we probably would have won despite my slight misplays. Not just, I don't think in general there was one outright misplay where I attacked with an Auriok Champion into a blue creature that could just eat it, and it was very poor. The other things were a little more marginal, but just it's tough to lose when you're starting the league off well, and then you lose a game that way. It just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. I mean, Skyclave Apparition is insane. I forget who it was who mentioned the line to me earlier, but against Doomwake, I had Eladamri's Call in hand with Aether Vial on 3, and I was sort of thinking about whether I go get Soulherder or whether I do this or do that, and somebody pointed out, I think it was Faust, like I should go get Skyclave Apparition, and Skyclave just permanently dealt with their Aether Vial when they were stuck on one land, which is obviously pretty good, because in the worst case scenario, they end up killing Skyclave and they get a 1/1 back, a vanilla 1/1. So Aether Vial, an incredibly powerful card in the decks that run it, and being able to get it, just destroy it with a 2/2 for value, and the only downside being that in the future they could get a 1/1. It's pretty nuts. So Skyclave definitely very good. I'm not exactly sure why this is taking very long to pair me, because for those of you unfamiliar with how the pairings work, they just subtract your wins from your losses from your wins. So I'm like effectively 0-0 right now, just joining the league, since I'm 2-2. And it took like 2 minutes to find an opponent. So this could be anybody right now. This is a total just lottery, because it could just be some random person joining the league right now. It could be somebody else who's 2-2. Okay, so we're hoping for a good opening hand. Opponent's got a very interesting name, Strategist, with a bunch of 7s replacing the T's. It's kind of cool looking. 1 land away from this being pretty good, but we have to mulligan. Oh man, not like this. Opponent's on Luris, so it could be Devoted Company. Opponent's mulliganing again, which would potentially support the theory that it's like a combo deck, like Devoted Druid. But it could also be like Black-Red Prowess, and they just have a bad hand. So I have to mulligan again. And, we can keep this, but it's not exciting. I go tapped Breeding Pool. We need some white mana, so maybe it's like tap Breeding Pool, because they're mulliganing to 5. So we're going to keep... we have Uro, so we like our fetches. So I'm going to bottom the Breeding Pool and just sort of hope that the lands are going to be with us. We've got an Ice Fang to help things out. Regardless of what they're playing exactly, they're not going to be able to counter the Ice Fang, I'm pretty sure. So actually, you know what? Being down, they could be on like some crazy combo deck. So I think I need to put a land down and keep the Force. Oh, I need to put 2 cards down. My bad. So I guess Thassa is the other pick, right? We just try to catch up with the value here, and at the same time stop like a Neoform deck. I forgot for a second that I was going down to 5. It was because I got 2 no-landers. 2 0-landers. Rough way to start out the 5th round, but opponent's going to 5 as well, so in theory, not really the end of the world, since we are starting on even footing. I'm even slightly ahead since I'm on the play. But when you're both dealing with 5 cards, I think it becomes a little less meaningful who's on the play. Due to the fact that we both want to be drawing cards and the opponent gets to draw the first card. So it's probably just good old burn. In which case we want to get double blue online. So it's like Zoo. So let's go like paths, please. Unfortunately, I'm low on land, and I need to worry more about my colors than I do about getting Death Touch online right now. Okay, all right, very nice. That was a great draw. So now I could potentially start going into my basics. So just going to pass a turn. This is not a deck that we have to worry for any reason about main phasing a Coatl. So we're going to have a little bit of life gain in Uro, potentially escaping Uro for massive value. This could be some kind of zoo deck with like Stoneforge. I've actually seen that. I don't know that it ran step links. So we're going to expect to see lots of fetches, which means that maybe Ashiok is good in the matchup. Particularly if they have Stoneforge, because Stoneforge wants to search the library also. Hoodrat, we have 21 lands and 4 Ether Vials in this deck. If you want to see the deck list, Cardboard Live is on the left side of the screen. Oh, are they running like Omnath now with the new landfall? So it's like 4-color landfall? So maybe removal into Eternal Witness is probably our best bet. And this force is sort of dead in my hand. Sort of wish that I had gone with something else, but, you know, I could have been playing against Neoform or something, so... Oh, so you're saying it's not like nothing from Zendikar has made its way in, or has it? Because I haven't. Was there like a new step links? I think there was a new step links in the Zendikar Rising set. I'm just gonna wait till the end step to flash in the Coatl. So they're representing Path to Exile against Uro, which is unfortunate, but I expect them to tap their lands now. Well, there's a cat. So leaving up Sacred Foundry. Well, another step link. So a lot of aggro. If we can get our Stonehorn going, that would be pretty nice. You know, we've got a chump block at least in Icefang Coatl to gain a tiny bit of time. Well, that can go get us. Well, Watcher is pretty poor in the matchup since it enters tapped. I guess just casting Uro is probably the best way to go. Even though Hot Bread has 5-0'd it multiple times. Against it multiple times, and both Akum, Hellhound, and Brushfire Elemental are in the deck. Okay. I'm sorry. Who is Hot Bread? Were they in the? I think they were in the chat earlier, weren't they? I haven't met that person before. But they were talking about Circle Stem. Yeah, they were in here before. So, so if Hot Bread, if you're still here, let me know some more details about this. Yeah, Stonehorn. So I have to think about what I want to do here. If I get Stonehorn, play a land, then I get one more combat step. But Uro is going to put me back up to 16. These guys are in theory going to be 4 power plus 3 is like 11 next turn plus a burn spell. I might have to actually cast the Force. But I can't really see a better play than drawing a card and gaining life in this spot. So, white. If I get white, I can draw. I can draw Skyclave Apparition and cast it. So I think just getting white is probably the way to go here. It's just like plays to my outs a little bit better. Escape Shift combo kill. That's wild. Yeah, whatever. I'll get white. Let's see if I get punished for it. So I'm sorry, Hellhound, Hoodrat, or Faust. Faust is talking about Hot Bread 5-0ing it. What does Hot Bread play? Does he play Soulherder? Okay, well that's nice. Land is cool. All right, so now we just pass the turn and hope that we don't die, but seems like I could die. We don't, you know what, getting white was a little sketchy. I wasn't thinking about escaping Uro. We still do need 2 more cards in the graveyard. Icefang could be one of those, but I still don't have double blue, double green. So I guess like Apparition off the top is pretty good to start dealing with some of these creatures. We kind of have to hope that the opponent is short on lands because these step links are going to get pretty swole if they have more fetch lands. I'm not really sure how good Ashiok would actually be in the matchup because it just turns off their fetches probably for like one turn. It would like eat an attack from some of their creatures. You guys have any thoughts on Ashiok against like fetchland.deck? Oh, okay. So he plays the landfall deck. Cool. All right. So he's another streamer who was here earlier. I'm not sure how he found my channel, but that's always cool. I could have countered the with the force. That was I wasn't trying to F6. I was just talking to chat. I usually F4. That was poor. Not sure that Ice Fang was going to save us. Okay, we're going to get more landfall, and I believe that's 8 plus 5. So 13. If they get another bolt, we just die, but I do have force, so... I could have gotten some value out of this force, pitching the Watcher, saving the Ice Fang. I was unfortunately F6'd. But I don't know that we were really going to get there in this game. So we can bring in some more removal. We've got Purges, and we've got a Winds of Abandon, and yeah, Ether Vial. They've got 5 on board. I've got a creature that can't block. I do have enough to escape Uro now, but I don't have enough cards in the graveyard. I would have had enough cards in the graveyard if I had actually forced. So I think there's a chance that I would have gotten another. Opponent's literally empty-handed, so I think that misplay, not forcing, actually is costing me here because I could play blue, go blue, green, escape Uro. If the opponent draws like another creature, like I could have stabilized. So that's my bad, guys. I just punted away a game. Not sure I would have totally won necessarily. Opponent could draw a Path to Exile. I would have still lost. But at least I would have had a chance. So yeah, I get punished for interacting with chat for a second. Let's just check if I have any plays at all. So I can Eladamri's Call, play this, and go get a 3-drop. I can Eladamri's Call. I don't have enough mana to escape Uro. I can call and go get Skyclave. Yeah, that might do it. Let's see. For a turn, maybe, if they don't draw land. Nah, because I don't have... Well, I do have triple white. Okay, I think I can do this. I mean, I should be in a better spot than I am right now. But if they don't draw land and they don't draw haste... could have also gotten like Knight potentially and just gained 4, but I don't think that does it either. So get rid of their Coatl, or not Coatl, Nacatl, and then trade with a guide and hope to draw Stonehorn and just like force a bolt off the top. +3/+0 and haste. Well, all right. I think I can force that. Might as well, right? Yeah, because then that would kill me. So probably a good idea to force it. So now I get to trade with this. Hope the top decks continue to be poor from the opponent and see if I can actually dig myself out of this hole here. Land. Eternal Witness is a good card. And we have to escape Uro. No other options. Okay, well, so yeah, well and truly sort of behind the 8 ball here. So no lands for the opponent, please. No, yeah, no lands, please. Just another one of those reckless charges or whatever. Goblin Guy doesn't do it either, and I get to crack here with Uro. Continue gaining life. Opponent's in the tank, right? I mean, oh my god. All right, so, all right, they can only get in for 3 here if they go all out. So interesting how, like, I'm still in this. Hopefully there's some of you guys here watching. Oh, what are they doing? They still have things to pay? Oh, they put Luris into hand. Okay, fair enough. Okay. So I do get an attack with Uro. That's cool. I can play... Oh, I don't have triple green. Vista does give me triple green. Yeah, I didn't really notice that either. I mean, I noticed it earlier, but then I forgot about it. So they have Luris in hand, no permanents in the battlefield in the graveyard to bring back. I can go Eternal Witness, get back Skyclave, and blow up one of their step links. Seems pretty good. Let's see what I draw of Mr. Uro here. Something good, maybe? A Path? Path would be pretty good. Man, that Canopy Vista is pretty clutch, guys. Like, you should be playing a Canopy Vista in this deck if you play Soulherder. That doesn't change the math too much, I don't think. If I play it, I can go like Ewit, like green, green, white, blue, green. I don't have enough green to do everything like that, so I think I'll just play this tapped. Play it tapped. Say okay. Play Eternal Witness. Green, we have to be very careful here, I think, with how we tap. Green, green, blue. Get back Skyclave. Man, like a Path or an Ephemerate or something off the top here would be pretty nice. Hey, Rodeo-san. It's going okay. I've managed to get to a position where I'm 2-2. Some slight missteps throughout the evening. Got punished pretty hard against Thopter combo, though my deck was also conspiring against me with the top decks. So I lost one round to the Thopter combo that I probably should have won, and then I got crushed by Blue Tron. So the 2-2 currently. Opponent with a tapped land. The Step Links gets pretty swole, so I think we know that they have the Luris in hand. If we, like, say, for example, double block, the opponent can't cast this from the graveyard this turn. I don't think I want to double block. I think I want to take 2 here. We know that Luris is in their hand, so, like, this is getting increasingly better for us here. Like, again, we know Luris is their card, so they're going to play it. We're going to attack with Uro and gain 3 more life, draw another card, get another body on the battlefield. So Uro, oh, they have a Goblin Guide down. They should have done that first main. That's weird. All right, well, they've got a lot of blockers out. They could potentially take down Uro now, but then it would kill all their creatures. Okay, why don't I start with just one of these guys? Might as well just vial it in now. Something good, something good, something good. I guess we might as well run out the extra one here. Something good, something good, something good. Path, please. Top decks, top decks. All right, well, we've got one more look. I'm going to get in with Uro here. He's going to chump with the illusion. Oh my god. It's impossible. How do I just keep drawing terrible? Like, every time I just want to turn the corner, the deck is like, Vial, land, land, Vial, land. All right, well, basic seems fine. They can block and then replay the Goblin Guide, so that's decent for them. I do have a nice army here at this point. I should probably play the other Ether Vial out. That was a little bit poor, but I can't really see it playing a large role. One card in hand. Could be a land. That, not the best attacks because I've got these two Death Touchers, but we'll have to see how it goes. I mean, if they just get in with the Goblin Guide, right, then they get it back with Luris, which is poor for us. Well, okay, the lands keep coming. They keep flowing. So, I mean, blocking seems poor. They've got one card in hand. I can't see it doing 6 points of damage to us. So I'm just going to accept this and then going to attack with Uro next turn again. Okay, we go up to that sweet spot where we put it on 3. And all right, that was clutch. Let's see how it goes. I really have no business being in this game. All right, we'll play that. Oh my god, guys. This is really turning around at this point. So the question is, what do they have in hand? They block with the step links. Fair enough. I mean, it seems like just getting Soulherder here is gas. So I think I want to do that. I mean, I'm just going to call right now and see what my options are. See how the opponent responds to this. I mean, Stonehorn is good, but we're not losing to their attacks right now. So I feel like we could be better suited by getting something that actually helps us more. So I could get, for example, Deputy and hit Luris, but this is a Bolt deck, so like I don't know that Deputy is the best value. So I mean, Thassa is 1, 2, 3. Should be one away from actually, and I can tap their creatures down starting soon. I think Thassa seems pretty good. I mean, I could do Eternal Witness, get back Ice Fang. That's also really good. Maybe just Eternal Witness, get back Ice Fang. Then I can actually attack with the Ice Fang soon. I do like Soulherder. I mean, let's go guaranteed value. I'm gonna get Eternal Witness. I can vial it in. Oh, I can do this right now. I can go get this back and get this. Pay 2. Probably still play some stuff, so let's file this in. Be a little bit careful on time. So we'll go green, white. I don't have any extra life gain in the deck at this moment, but I do quite like Thassa in this spot. Got to get rid of that Luris. I mean, it's not really that big of a deal, but I can Deputy it now because I have the Ephemerate in hand. Okay. And, you know, we can pretty much just Alpha Strike here. And we're getting low on time, so I'm not even going to play the other Ether Vial at this point because I just want fewer triggers. Like, the triggers are just losing time right now at this point. And, oh, they're attacking, huh? Interesting. Eladamri's Call. Let's see. Going to block. And block. And sort of see what they're working with. Oh, that's unnecessary. I should probably just block here, and then I can Ephemerate if I need to. Actually, you know what? Let's reset this. I block like this. I block like this. Show me what you got, opponent. All right, that was the most unlikely win in this entire league. I semi-punted by F6ing while I was focusing on chat by not forcing a lightning bolt that killed an Ice Fang. And then I came up with the line on the next turn of Eladomries for Skyclave. I traded with a Goblin Guide and somehow survived. Uro was just a ridiculous house right there. That was just bonkers. All right, so I have to do the deck proud at this point. All that stuff seems good. I think Aether Gust is good here, but I'm still kind of an Aether Gust noob. So is Aether Gust a slam dunk here, or is it just kind of a tempo play, putting one of their 1-drops back on top of their deck? I'm not sure how incredible that is, but Knight seems all right as a body that gains life. I did just kind of want to gain life and stabilize. So take this out. Teferi, I think, is too dirtily in this matchup. So I don't know that I love Teferi here. Tempo play is still good. All right, I'm gonna go for it here. Teferi could also be good. I think the Watchers come out. So what I'm looking to do is they crack a fetch and then I gust in response, because I don't think I've actually done that yet. I know that those plays exist, but again, I'm kind of a gust noob. Force, I can probably trim like one of them. It's mostly a creature deck, maybe even two. And that brings us to 60. All right, so we cut all the Watchers just because they're like super clunky. It cuts down on our 2-drops a lot, but we do have now 4 paths, two Purges, Winds of Abandon. Auriok is a sick blocker. I can't imagine the opponent has like tons and tons of stuff to bring in against Soulherder. I mean, Thassa is pretty dirtily against such a super fast deck. So what do you guys think about cutting Thassa to bring in even just like a Meddling Mage naming Lightning Bolt or something? I don't know. Like, as another body seems okay. I could also bring in one of the Teferis, but I think Meddling Mage seems slightly better than Teferi. Also, I think Ashiok just gets killed. I guess she can tap. That's fair. She can tap, but it's like, I need 4 mana. I guess we did get there that game, so let's go ahead and submit. And let's just hope, we just get a good hand, close out this league in a positive fashion. That was a pretty interesting and exciting game, I have to say. I hope you guys found it entertaining. Okie dokie. We can keep. Opponent's mulliganing to 6. Let's go. We're going to go green, blue, and then get... oh, I'm sorry. Opponent said... Opponent said GG. I just saw it now, so I said, sorry, just seeing this. GG. Gonna go get green, blue, and then Canopy Vista. I could need to play Path sooner than that. Opponent's mulliganing to 5. Eternal Witness plus Path could be enough to get us there against a multi 5, but the last game was a multi 5 as well from this opponent, and it was pretty explosive. Pretty explosive stuff. So opponent's thinking carefully. Remember, we're in the neutral bracket here at 2-2. This could be somebody just joining a league right now. They could be at 1-1, 2-2. Even when I waited like 2 minutes, so sometimes they pair you outside of your bracket. So could be somebody on 1-0, 2-1. Very doubtful that it's somebody who's like 3-0 or 0-3. I don't think it goes that far outside the bracket. So we've got turn 1, Aether Vial. We'll see how the opponent's mulligan to 5 plays out. Okay. Well, 4th land is not the worst thing in the world. We would prefer to not draw more lands. We do probably want to path this thing sooner than later. So, I currently don't have any need for blue mana, and I think I took out all but one of my forces. So, and I took these guys out, so I guess snakes need blue mana, but I'll have Ether Vial on 2. I think I might just want to... I've got the Hallow Fountain in hand. I think I might want to crack this for white. Basic white. Now, to thin the deck a little bit, so hopefully my chances of drawing lands next turn are diminished. All right. That could be the first time I've ever searched for a basic plains with this deck on turn 1. All right, so we're taking our beats here. Hopefully they don't have a turn 2 kill somehow. So again, the plan is basic forest, just hold up path. The following turn, I can crack Misty Rainforest to get Canopy Vista, get back path with Eternal Witness. Opponent going pretty hard here. I mean, this is what they do, but remember they're on a multi-5, so we don't really know exactly what they're working with. It could just be 4 lands and step links. They're thinking very hard, so I'm pretty sure that's not the case. I mean, really... Oh, they played it tapped. We need to stabilize more than anything else, and then... I mean, Uro is amazing off the top if we can find it. Like Eladamri's Call, I might just immediately go get... Well, Skyclave and Uro won that last game. They both did an amazing job. So we're going to continue drawing lands, it seems, which is what I've been trying to avoid by cracking these fetches. But I am going to play my basic now, try to save some life. We're going to path. Opponent did not play another creature. I mean, we've got one of each of our basics in hand here, so... Opponent on the mull, but, you know, we've got a slightly awkward situation with our hand. Like a 2-drop next turn is really nice off the top that we can just vial in. Opponent thinking if they should use their mana efficiently to, like, bolt me, and it looks like they go with it. I can't imagine they're playing stuff like Apostle's Blessing in this deck, so I'm just going to let them go to attacks, I think, and cast the Path to Exile. Let them crack their fetches and stuff like that, right? Like if I path on upkeep, they might wait to crack their fetches. It's very important how you represent your situation in spots like this, where if you pass quickly, it might look like you don't have path, but if you sit and think and think and think and think, then the opponent might be less inclined to crack their fetch. Oh, they're doing it untapped. Interesting. So yeah, we might as well just go for this path now, I guess. Can't really see why we wait for the trigger to resolve. I don't think it benefits us in any way. Letting the trigger resolve, so... Path here will give him another landfall trigger, which is kind of funny, but he won't exist, so he won't get the landfall trigger. All right, so we're not just dead yet. But the opponent did just play an untapped Sacred Foundry, so 3 more creatures with 2 cards in hand. Oh, they're going to get Lurrus. They're going to pay for Lurrus, of course. Well, they didn't do anything, which is quite curious. They could just have 3 Lightning Bolts in hand. Or like a Skull Crack or something. 2 drops. How I love thee. You know what? This could ramp us this turn, which would be sick, because then we could cast Eternal Witness with Path mana or Ephemerate mana. So let's go ahead and get that guy down. See what the opponent does. Ugh, always with the Ether Vials. So we did not ramp ourselves. It's totally possible, like the best play here is just to play a tapped Hallowed Fountain, hold up Ephemerate for Coiling Oracle, and then we go for Witness plus Path next turn. Should think I like that just fine. I'm not in a huge rush to get creatures onto the battlefield. So I I think playing the Hallowed Fountain tapped seems just fine. I'll go get double green next turn. Opponent knows that I have this Vial. I might as well just play it out. Represent a little bit of weakness. Why did the opponent play an untapped Sacred Foundry? Why did they? That's freaking me out. They didn't get lures. Maybe they're just tilted a little bit. They forgot to get Lurrus in hand, I guess, which is pretty bad. And pretty scoopable if that is the case. So do I go for the aggressive Coiling Oracle Ephemerate here? Opponents seems to be thinking, so I think I can afford to just continue holding it up. Oh, actually, we've got Vial for Witness here, so we've got tons of mana available. Well, I think we're probably going to, I can go get Canopy Vista with this, so I don't have to crack this just yet. I think I will get in now, and there's no reason really. Well, I guess there is a reason to play a Witness now. I'm going to play a Witness. But then I have to crack this land, which is just as well. The opponent seems low on cards. They don't really have much going on. Why are they not getting Lurrus in hand? I don't understand. I Okay, we get a path. Opponent unloads 3 bolts on me. Or maybe they try to kill my creatures. Maybe they have like 3 Anger of the Gods in hand. I mean, I can't help but feel like I'm favored in this position, but the opponent is just sitting on all this mana. So I guess we'll have to see what's happening here. Boros Charm to the Dome. All right, they got me. And maybe like just a Lightning Bolt. Okay. Man, we could really use a Knight, an Eladamri's Call, or an Uro off the top. Might just Ephemerate the Coiling Oracle to try to draw some cards. The opponent responds. I just Vial in Eternal Witness, get it right back. We try to pull ahead. Opponents again in the tank. We're kind of hoping that they finally tap out to get Lurrus in hand, but it doesn't seem like what they're about. They could have 4 points of burn in hand and waiting for me to tap out, but I'm not really representing counter magic here, so whatever. What do you got, opponent? All right, they let it resolve. Let me get an Uro. Purge, huh? Well, I mean, it's a good card in the matchup, but like, I guess I don't Vial in Witness here. We kind of have to turn the corner soon. But I've got 2 pieces of removal in hand. I feel like getting down creatures to accelerate the clock is sort of significant. But if I Vial in Witness, it's like in theory, it's only a 3-turn clock. And right now it's just like a 4-turn clock. So I'll keep the Witness in hand for now. Could be wrong. What does the opponent have on their mulligan to 5? A lot of burn spells, I guess. I think I sideboarded out a bunch of forces. Yeah, 3 forces. I've got one left in the deck. So force would be like a huge weight off my shoulders if they don't just burn me out right now in the upkeep. Actually, it's not a anything turn clock at this point since I'm just blinking my only legitimate attacker. So 2 Ephemerates. All right, well, again, we're sort of at the mercy here of the opponent's top decks. Can very easily just die to burn. I can just leave up the Ephemerates to be sort of reactive. There's not a lot that I need to actually do with my mana here. I'm leaving up double removal, ephemerate, eternal witness. Opponent didn't cast anything, which is also a big relief. I no idea what's going on in their hand. Maybe you guys can. Maybe they have those spells that buff their creatures. You know, like whatever that instant spell was with flashback. Gain control of it. Untap it. It gains haste. I'd rather they didn't do that. So they're bringing in this loose tech. So doesn't seem very good. I'll get back a land. You want to try it again? Okay, Wild and Cattle. Not sure what they're waiting for on that guy. So now I will Path and then Violin the Eternal Witness. Claim. I guess it is neat, right? Claim the Firstborn. And I'm going to continue on the value train with trying to ephemerate the Coiling Oracle. If they have a bolt or something, then whatever. Opponent might be afraid they're falling too far behind. Apparently not. They didn't bolt me at the end of the turn. Oh my god. This is like kind of awkward almost. I need to win this game because the clock is getting so low. At the same time, if I just pick up the pace, but I've got so many triggers, it's hard to keep up. On the clock. Opponent knows we have the land in hand, might as well play that out. So really no reason to keep it in hand, except to play one that is less damaging to my life total. So just go to attacks. Again, I don't really see a reason to run out Ephemerates on my main phase. Just pass the opponent. We do have a bit of a clock now. Actually, it's just shy of lethal with the third Eternal Witness. All right, 3 cards in the opponent's hand. I think I like just like not ephemerating here. Just violin the extra witness. We've got infinite ephemerates, so we can always get stuff back from the yards whenever we want. Opponent, in theory, will be taken off of fetch lands, which is not a big deal at this point, I guess. But they're still not putting Lurrus in hand. It's perplexing. Definitely not putting. I don't even want to crack any more fetches, so I'll just keep them in hand at this point. Could still lose to bolts. Could definitely still lose to bolts. Blah. What are they doing with this? Okay, 3 damage, right? Sure. So am I just dead to Boris Charm here, and I have to just like power out a win in game 3? That would be annoying. We should have 2 chances to ephemerate for like Uro or call for Uro. Okay, wow. So they're trying to take me down to. I think I want to just respond with ephemerate. Yeah, we're on the same page. Okay, we hit a land, and I guess we might as well let this resolve to take us to. Well, I don't know, whatever. Opponent seems to be finally like going for it, so force. Okay, well, we're drawing excellent cards, guys, but I think we're just dead, which is sad because we had this game sort of locked up. But I think the opponent played this like pretty slowly, took their time, figured out the sequencing on the lands, and it looks like they've pretty much got us. But they're thinking now, so I mean, like, why? Okay. It's just sandbagging, taking forever. That's obnoxious. All right. Well, I'm going to play super fast in game 3, and we'll see how it goes. Be back in a second. Okay. So I mean, we should be able to. This is a matchup where worship should just be almost like a hard lock if we can get it down. I think I like having one more force in, so 2 forces, just so we have like a better chance of drawing one. I kind of like Thassa's tap. Venser, I don't know, like the 4 drops are dirtily unless they're like clutch, right? So I almost just like Meddling Mage naming Lightning Bolt. It seems to be almost like their only removal. They have a Tarkus Command and Boros Charm. So I think I'm actually going to bring in Meddling Mage in favor of the clunkier Venser. And I think I am going to take out Thassa. We have plenty of removal, and I really don't like the idea of 4 drops that don't just win the game. So this is how I'm running it. Fortunately, we'll be on the play. All right, heads down. Got to play fast and just get ahead on clock. Unfortunately, my system is running a little slow because it's the end of the league. I don't know. Seems like Magic... Oh my god, it's taking so long. Say yes. Come on. Good opening hand. Not good, so we have to mulligan. And we can keep this. Opponent is... so... We have to bottom an extra call. I like keeping 3 lands here. We'll keep bottom that. Say done. And we'll go get blue-white. You guys, I guess this just has landfall, right? So deck, let's go. Blue-white. Forces something. So we can call for Stonehorn. All right, this is a crazy, crazy opening out of them. Untapped land, so they must have a bolt or something. Okay, well, that's something. No blue spells to pitch, but I can't imagine I'd really want to pitch anything here. Another land. All right, so I think for the time being, well, you know what? I'm sort of fine just chumping for a little while, I think. But we are kind of trying to draw to worship, so maybe I'll take the damage for now. Okay. Okay, another Hellhound. So it's hard. Hard. Maybe I should have blocked and then witnessed back the Coatl. Maybe that was the better line. Ugh, so stupid. So now I just witness back nothing, or I just witness, or I just call here for, yeah, I think I just have to call here, guys. Try to chump block, not die. I don't even have force online. It's hard if they have a whole bunch of creatures and a bunch of burn. So we'll have to see how it goes, I guess. Trample and haste. That's 8 damage coming my way. Man, you see how the lands have been in this league. So many lands on top of the deck. So in this case, I do think I want to block and save a little bit of damage. So we'll block like this. They could have the command, right, which does so much damage to me. It might just be game over. I probably should have cracked and gotten a blue instead of playing the green out. What does this do? Does it hurt me or something? Oh, wait, what? Oh, they return a land. I thought I had to return a land. That would have been terrible. I mean, I'm behind on clock. I'm probably just going to lose to the clock if I don't just lose to beats. Come on. Kind of impossible. Kind of impossible. I should have had that second game, but opponent just had, I had all the removal, but he had no creatures and just bolts. That was how that went. So now things like Ephemerate become excellent. Soulherder is a little sketchy because they could have removal. We have, I guess, Witness for Eladamri's Call. For Soulherder. Right, so we do have the force here now, pitching force. We get to see our top deck here. It's a land. So we're going to block and block. If they have the command, we can try to force it. But they've got 4 cards in hand. I'm pretty sure we're toast. We've got a painless land in Vista here. Oh, but I wanted to get Vista. I do have another basic forest that I can get, which is decent-ish. No, I don't have another basic forest. I don't, and I drew my Canopy Vista, so I think I'm just dead. Well, that was stupid. Well, I can still main phase call and cast Soulherder, but I can't cast call right now, I don't think, because I can't get lands. Oh, they have another, why don't they, you know, just another burn spell, awesome. All right, so we say okay. Man, this was such a swingy league. I feel like every match that we lost was like poised on like a knife's edge, right? So I mean, we lost now to we lost to the Thopter deck. We lost to that deck. which we got to 1 life in game 2. The Thopter deck, as discussed multiple times, was winnable in any number of ways. And what was the other one that we lost to? Bluetron. So Bluetron was very one-sided and was always going to be very one-sided. But I mean, this league could have very easily been a 4-1, but the opponent drew burn spells in game 2 instead of creatures, and I had, I think, 2 paths and a Celestial Purge just rotting in hand while they just burned me out from a mullet when they were on a multi 5. And then in game 3, they just had creatures, lands, and like multiple creatures, multiple lands, multiple burn spells, and just couldn't get there, I guess. So it's getting late, guys. I want to thank you again for sticking with me this long. If some of you guys aren't following the channel, I'd appreciate it if you gave me that follow. If you want to subscribe, again, you can link your Amazon account pretty easily and give me a free subscription. You can Google how to do that. It takes about 1 minute. And with that, I think I'll just check out who else is online right now so I can send you to another streamer. And again, I think I'll send you guys to Emma Sky Eward. And if you don't like that channel, let me know next time, and I'll send you somewhere else. But Emma Sky Eward. All right. So once again, thanks so much for joining me, guys. I hope you found it entertaining, potentially somewhat educational. In particular, that match against Thopter combo, where I made some sideboarding mistakes by bringing an Auriok champion. It was pointed out to me that was suboptimal. I didn't play my lands when I should have been in order to give myself a better chance of being able to pay for their counterspells, since all of them are just like monoleaks. So I definitely learned some stuff. It's part of why I enjoy playing Magic, is even though you might have played thousands or tens of thousands of matches, there's still room to learn how to play better. So have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you next on Wednesday evening, where I'll be back with Merfolk.